And the visual I've got for when
Yeah.
basically a visual to sort of show the character is a rage drake curled up around a saddle with barding on it. And the barding is the same colour as its scales. Because there's nothing wrong with using your own mount scales if it's got scales to make barding for it.
Right.
Enchanted barding and stuff. So it's curled up around the saddle, which has got all the gear in it. And lying asleep on top of the rage drake is a fey panther and a smaller fey panther.
That's awesome.
It is sleeping on it, using it as a cushion.
I love that.
As a heated bed.
That's really funny. I like it.
And that's welcome to session 57.
Yes.
Yes, when I start playing the music, that means it's recording.
Yeah.
So it recorded most of that conversation.
Oh well.
Okay, so at the table today we have Kesley.
People get to enjoy
Hello,
characters.
hello. I am playing Koopa Lani Aokai, aka Lani, the Makai human fighter. Yeah.
Have you nicknamed your trident anything?
Sparky.
Sparky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Makai. That's
Yeah. Like the
Islander
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Maori.
Essentially. I was going with like, so the name comes from a mix of both Hawaiian and Samoan.
Yeah.
So I was kind of going more like Pacific Islander vibes with her.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
And
large and brown.
And the amusing thing is, it's also has a lot of connotations to Australia because it's a convict colony. That's don't stop sending us your convicts. We'll sink your ships from now on.
Yep.
Sort of fair.
And all halflings hate the people who send convicts there.
Strange that.
Well, they burnt their shipyards and stole all their ships.
Well, yeah, people who do that sort of thing are usually assholes.
Yeah. And that was the Roman group of people.
They're usually assholes.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is Stefan.
Hello, I am playing Tidal Rift.
From the same culture?
Yes, same culture, but a monk who is a follower of Proteus. And a long-time friend of Tidal. Not Tidal, yes, myself, because I'm friends with myself.
You're a long-time friend of yourself.
I mean, that's better than some people.
It's always interesting when you travel through time and meet yourself.
Some people aren't their own friends.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're doing pretty well mentally there.
Long-term friend of Drazzle. Well, you know, I am also a long-term
That's probably
friend of
why I'm
Drazzle.
not doing well mentally, because I'm friends with Drazzle.
But I do.
Well, you hang around Drazzle, and you sometimes appreciate his presence.
It has side effects, obviously.
Yes. You appreciate that he is there.
Yeah.
And Drazzle always refers to himself as Drazzle.
Yes. It's catching on.
Yeah. I seem to be taking it rather better.
Don't worry, I'll start friending myself in the third person too soon. Tidal thinks we should do this.
Okay, first answer that comes up, first time he says that, is which one?
Yes. Which timeline? I don't know anymore.
And then Paul.
Who is Claw.
And probably the sanest one of the group so far.
Fair.
Generally, yeah. He's
depends on the timeline.
That's true.
That's true, although he does have a good wisdom.
Wisdom doesn't necessarily mean sanity. It means you're probably not going to go insane.
I'm not going to be overly insane. The thing is, I've also got a good charisma, which is force of personality, which also helps. Used to be blue-haired pretty boy diplomat, healer, warlock, is now a auburn-haired pretty boy diplomat, warlock, because his elemental aspect is coming in. He may end up more redhead than he is now. But that'll come in...
It can change.
Well, that'll come in next level when I actually get the feat elemental affinity. Because I'm going that way.
Cool.
Which also means I'll be doing way more fire damage.
Fire.
Yes.
And when you look at the dragons, you'll find out more about the dragons over time, but all dragons start out chromatic.
Oh, okay. So the metallic ones are the ones who've changed what they are.
After they've been born.
Yeah.
There are no metallics born.
Makes sense.
Which actually makes the metallic dragonborn interesting.
There's a specific story for that.
Yeah, but that implies they can't become dragons. Unless they go to the dragonology route.
Oh, the dragonology route also has its drawbacks but if you want to go to certain types of dragons.
Yeah.
So technically you'll have taken it twice to get the metallic aspect.
Oh. Okay, that's going to hurt.
But it does mean that you have access to different types of elements.
Yes.
So instead of fire, you can do fire or radiant.
Well, that's the thing. If I've gone the elemental feats, that would become either more easy or more versatile.
And then if you upgrade again, take it a third time, you get the gemstone affinity.
Ruby Dragon.
And unfortunately, the Amber Dragon, no one knows how to get that one.
Because that's not really a gem.
It is in D&D.
Yeah, that's true.
Amber Dragons exist in this setting.
I know. It's how to get to them because they're not...
Amber Dragons were meant to be the evolution for gold.
Right. Yeah. No, I can see that.
That was when there was only one metallic dragon in the setting.
Yeah.
But as I've changed that...
Things have changed. Well, the world is changing.
Amber still exists, it's just the rarest of the gemstone dragons.
Yes.
Okay.
So of course it's now going to be the one I'm going to aim at, isn't it? maybe.
To get it, you would have to basically specialize only in one craft.
Yeah, that's true. That's It
costs a lot.
Yeah, generally not actually worth doing.
No. The gemstone one, the difference between the gemstone and the metallic, the gemstone's ability does both types of energy.
Yeah.
And whichever one affects the person the most is the energy type they're affected by.
Yep.
So if I hit you with radiant and fire, if you're not affected by fire but you are affected by a radiant, it's just radiant.
Yeah. That's how the dual.
Whereas the gold one is you have to choose whether you're doing radiant or fire.
Yeah.
You can't do both.
Yeah.
So that's the evolutions of the three.
Yeah.
There are other evolutions, but they're hidden.
Yeah. Although there's nothing wrong with you doing radiant breath and then fireballs. Because spellcasting
comes in handy there. And Jeremy will let us know when he gets back. So I'll turn the music down a little bit more so it doesn't overwhelm.
Yes.
Okay, so you are currently playing Castle Amber.
Yes.
Making sure it's actually visible for people to see. And last session you had successfully gotten the Serpentine Mirror. You've got the ring of making bad things go away, which apparently didn't work.
Well, it depends on the bad thing, but yeah.
It's supposed to be able to protect the user against evil creatures. Didn't quite work for the user on the evil creature.
No, it didn't.
It doesn't work if you yourself are an evil creature.
Have you just called the White Wizard an evil creature?
No, it's plot foreshadowing.
Okay. And you're currently going for the Potion of Time Travel. I'm sure there's going to be nothing wrong with getting that.
Oh, absolutely. This is not going to be completely impossible. It's fine.
There will have been nothing that has happened will have been gotten our way. Sorry, I've been listening to Drazzle.
Except Drazzle knows you can actually go through time and mess things around so things change in the present.
Oh, we know that already.
He likes doing that.
Yeah. We've noticed.
Just that people who travel with him actually get to see time change.
Yes.
Pick up a book and going, you didn't have this in it last time I read it.
Yes. What's the thing? If you're with him, you're outside the time stream for the duration of the change, so you can remember both sides.
Well, you don't remember the change.
That's you don't remember the new one, you only remember the old one. So you have to learn all this stuff that everyone knows has been around forever, anew.
Yep.
Which is one of the things that's confusing about dealing with Drazzle. But Yeah, I appear to be able to handle Drazzle and the way Drazzle talks pretty well.
Partly because you do like time travel and you understand many different ways of doing it.
And have a rather wider facility with languages, which includes playing with tenses and so on, and ways of thinking out way more than most people.
So, in last session, you had gone to a ball.
Yep.
Where you were meeting Azdarak, the Bishop of... Getting sure I get the name right. Zymes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you're at the Feast of St. Gilliam of Zynes, which is the annual banquet at the Mayor's Palace, which just happened to be timed for your arrival.
How perfect.
Well, considering we're going after the potion of time travel, it's unlikely to surprise when timing works out well. Because the way the universe works, that potion wants to be found. And probably by us.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, you've already seen the potion of time travel.
Yep.
Yes, I was expecting, this being France, for it to be a bottle of wine, but
Depends on who makes it and what century they came from.
Sure.
Okay, so as you are moving over to meet up with Azdarak at a appointed time, unfortunately, a couple of you get sidelined by a group of well-wishers.
I was going to say, Peter's standing in the back a bit, but he can't.
Okay, so I might get Jeremy to introduce himself now that he's back, so he won't be one of the ones sidelined.
Yes, good evening all. Apologies for my delay. I'm playing Peter, the Atruaghin Planksman, who used to be a watchman and has now turned into a lawman. He's attempting to become or hold up the status of shaman of the clans, having been blessed by Atruaghin himself, or at least a close associate thereof.
Well, you are one of the oldest tribe members in living history.
So
that's not a shaman.
Blessed by something, anyway.
So obviously you were going to become a shaman of the tribe because only old people do that.
Yes. Of course, you're not realising that it's actually because you're getting reasonable medical care and proper food. But it's far better.
I'm learning more about the world. I understand what could be going on. Yep.
Yeah.
So people are just about to meet up with the bishop?
Yep.
Yes.
So you move over and to the area, and you see him waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
So a picture of what he looks like for Jeremy's purpose, and I'll show everyone else if you can see that, Jeremy.
All good. Yep.
Old bloke with a tonsure. Right.
Yep.
Well, that's there. And I'll show Stefan when he gets back.
I'm sure he's a good man of the church. But because there's a church here, that doesn't make him good.
No, it means he's not. It means he's a Thanatos worshipper.
Well, you have learned that the church here is both good and evil, because the church deals with heaven and hell, whereas the places you come from,
they separate those.
Yeah, the god has a specific domain that they look after.
Yes.
And that is not the entire pantheon, whereas this one, is the entire pantheon. He's the one and only god.
Yes, which is why it's possible to have a holy symbol of Orcus, which we found.
Because you know Orcus was one of his agents in the world you're from.
Yep.
Which means he probably doesn't have much power here anymore.
No. Well, from memory, he's one of the demon princes of, and covers the undead. And there's not a lot of that around anymore. Mm-hmm. Or, in fact, there's not a lot around, and there will be it everywhere, but no living beings.
So while he's a demon
and his
prince,
power comes from the interface between the two.
Orcus is one of the gods. Yeah. So he's an actual god. Mm. Even though he's a demon prince, he's still a god.
Well, a demon prince from our point of view.
Yeah.
But yes.
But you know him as a god.
Yeah.
Which is all the demon princes are gods outright.
Yeah.
So Demogorgon is also another god. Mm-hmm. Which is unlike the traditional D&D hierarchy where only a couple of them are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they normally refer to Orcus as just a demon.
Gotcha.
So that is a big distinction between the two versions of the game.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, so he greets you and says, "So, I see you have come with gifts."
Gifts?
Who's he addressing?
The group of you.
Group as a whole. Okay.
I'm assuming that Lou will probably be the most talkative so far.
Yeah.
I would just question gifts.
Yeah.
He says, looking at you, you've obviously come to give me magic, have you not? You carry so much with you.
Well, potentially that could be arranged. We understand that you might have some items that we are particularly looking for.
That depends on what you're looking for and what you're offering.
Right, so
we've had rumours suggesting you may have access to a certain potion.
We're just meeting the bishop.
A potion that would allow one to travel through time.
Yes, I have heard of such things.
And would you be interested potentially in a trade for such an item?
If such a trade was of appropriate interest, then maybe I would be able to find one of these theoretical items.
As you mentioned, we have a number of items upon us that may be suitable for such trading. You do not necessarily have the potion upon you at this time? Is that what you're implying?
I would not carry magical items with me. That would be sacrilege.
And so how long would it take you to get your hands on such an item, if a trade could be?
And what type or scale of trade would you be interested in for the item?
It says something of appropriate value. If you are as learned as you say you are, you would know without me having to specify. He says, looking at you rather directly.
So I lean into Drazzle and whisper in his ear.
I don't count as a gift in this timeline, do I?
Drazzle looks at you and says, "You're always a gift."
I just kind of look down. Sad.
And gives you a big hug.
That's fine. I'll give him a hug. Still not happy though.
We're not going to use you as a commodity. Don't worry about that.
You guys, maybe not. Drazzle, I'm not so sure.
I'm pretty sure Drazzle isn't a slaver.
No, Drazzle doesn't give away his gifts.
No.
He lends them out and then demands payment for borrowing them.
Yes, I might be here for the next 200 years because Drazzle said, "Here, borrow this."
I'm yes, but
Drazzle wants to get out of this world as well, though.
I'm not entirely certain that the statement that Drazzle is an enslaver is quite correct either, considering the number of people that end up in the back of his wagon and then don't come out again.
Yeah, well, that's not him doing it. That's the wagon doing it. It's their fault. They shouldn't be breaking into someone else's wagon.
Plus, I'm pretty sure the wagon has a union.
Yes, but because we don't know just what happens to them. But yes.
And is also sentient.
So, that's beside the point there.
Yes.
So, well,
thinking to myself.
I suspect that in this world, the opportunity for one such as yourself, I expect that your parishioners may come and request assistance with health and healing over time that may be more difficult than it may have previously been. We could offer you a similar potion that would allow the opportunity to help one of your positioners in need, or other worthy beings.
Or maybe a few of them.
He looks at you, goes, possibly, though the healing with magic is strictly forbidden by the church.
Ah, but that would be the advantage of having a medicine in a liquid form that would not be magic, obviously, but merely the blessed waters of the god.
With spices in
it. Now that just depends on which god has provided the blessing. And do you know which god has provided this blessing?
Well, I'm sure that if it was one such as yourself providing the succour to a worthy parishioner or other, then you would explain that it is obviously the god that has provided the healing.
There's also taking advantage of the resources of the opposition. It's always worth doing.
Okay, so I'm just going to check and see.
But yes, Pettidier is accepting of the fact that, well, apparently there's only one god here, so he's happy to allow him to...
But medicine that is not explicitly from the god, but is blessed by the god, that could be used. Mm. And if it's from your hand...
Even my hand is not able to provide magical healing.
We're talking about non-magical healing. Medicine that you hand people is coming blessed.
He thinks, no, that would just be a inconvenience more than a convenience. If you have something other than magical healing, he would be interested. Do you have anything other than magical healing?
Here, it's called a tourniquet. Use it.
He's well aware in how to use a tourniquet, he says. As well as how to amputate.
Yes. Yes, I've got a bunch of things, none of which I'm going to be willing to give up.
Do you say that out loud?
No. Oh, I've got something I worked out is a really bad thing to actually remake into a potion that he could probably use. Dried silvery dust in a flask that we found on a pair of people who had been in stasis for a couple of thousand years. And I sort of worked out that that's probably what got them in that state.
I remember where that came from.
Yeah. Wasn't that out of character? Wasn't that an invisibility potion?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was a different one. I've got an invisibility potion separately.
Oh.
But as far as I can work out from how it was laid out in the scene where we found it, that stuff is the reason they were in stasis for a couple of thousand years. It would just have to be reconstituted to a liquid, probably by putting wine in it, because that's normal. because alchemy. He could probably find that of distinct use.
Turning sinister stone.
We do have a section on
Turning sinister
reconstituting
stone.
potions.
Being able to hibernate for 1,000 years.
If it wears off.
It's got to be broken, I think, because they were holding. Actually, that was the thing. One of them was holding the flask that had it in it. Got the flask to have a look at it, and they woke up. Well, that one woke up. We pick up the weapon from the other one, and that one woke up.
Oh.
Because we didn't know with both of them awake.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I was going to say, perhaps we can have a good discussion amongst ourselves as to what might be a suitable option for you in that sort of way.
It says don't take too long, because I'm sure some guys in red might want to have a word with you if they feel you're tingling too much in their direction.
No. A few minutes is all we ask. Is to and I say, I'll just step aside and suggest the fact that, he might be talked into a reconstitution potion type stuff, but he may be looking for something that doesn't require or be used obviously in that sort of way. So it may be something he's more looking for a more permanent item that he can use for himself, I suspect.
Oh yeah. Yes. The thing is, my present collection of magic items are quite tightly bound to how I've got things set up. And the moment really can't be separated. I am carrying a couple of things that I'm not presently using.
We can't get out of here until we find this potion.
I know that. But half the stuff I'm presently wearing is irreplaceable. Like those books. Some of which he'd probably really like the idea of. I've got a wand of fear, which I'm not using for anything. I don't know if anyone else wants it. That's another thing.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly something that a gentleman like him might be able to take advantage of.
Yeah. Of course, what we want to make sure of is we're not the first people he uses it on.
I'm just worried about his ceremonies. Sermons or whatever.
So you can put the finger right into it.
Exactly.
As I said before, I doubt that we can save this world or its people.
No, which is another reason not to hand over a weapon, hand over a magic item I don't want to lose.
Hell, he uses a wish potion.
Yeah. But you just said it was a wand that you didn't have any use for.
I know, that's why I'm talking about the wand and a couple of other things. They're not something I'm presently using. But what I was talking about is the consideration about magic item. I don't know how many anyone else has. I'm pretty sure you don't have any extra ones yet. I've got a +1 dagger, but it looks ratty. It's not something I'm going to use as a gift. Unless he's willing to use it as that's not to take into any consideration. I've been
I suspect he's probably not interested in a weapon.
Yeah.
That would be so obviously a weapon. Magic or otherwise.
No.
Probably
I've got a protective bracelet that he can have. I haven't used that yet.
That's certainly something that he might be interested in the sense that, again, something that allows him to use it without being obvious about any such use.
Yes.
That's
what were you going to suggest?
I was going to say that would probably be some kind of magical trinket or potion would be an equal trade.
Yeah.
For him.
Let's see.
So yeah, the bracelet could be one.
Yeah. I've got a potion of fire breath. You'd probably find that amusing.
Again, he probably doesn't want to take something obviously magical.
I know. I'm just saying it's an amusing thought. Yeah.
Speaking about preaching about hellfire.
And then demonstrating it. You're a real fire and brimstone preacher.
Yeah.
Now you don't have any spare magic stuff, do you?
No.
I seem to be carrying all the extra
I have
magic stuff.
2 items, I think.
Yeah, because the other people in the party who had multiple magic items all left. with the magic items.
Yeah.
Although
No, they got given to Drazzle.
No, Drazzle's got them.
Drazzle has it.
He grabbed a lot of items, yeah.
Yes, he did. He's got a whackload of items. Drazzle, is there anything you're personally carrying? That you
He's not with you at the moment.
Oh, bugger. I thought he was.
You got pulled
He's one of mice that got waylaid.
It's Drazzle. Wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it, he's also not one that should be necessarily seen in this town because he's one that's more obviously not human.
Though he does look like a overly large human right now.
Oh, that's right, he does have some magic to cover it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
At least it's not as bad as his wagon.
Yes. Yes. Actually, I could give up the Orb of Time. I'd be willing to do it. Actually, if you want something powerful to be really tempting, Crystal Ball. Remember I was saying I was never going to attune that, considering one of its requirements.
Well, like
for someone like him, that would be immense.
So go ahead and sell it.
Yes.
This is what it does. It's great.
Or possibly, if it work out which item you're happy to give away most, start with that and then see if that's acceptable. And
yeah. Well, I think the crystal ball on its own would be entirely usable.
Oh, absolutely. I suspect even you want a few or your bracelets or something or other.
Well, yeah, we could start with the
depends on what you're most happy to give away or lose.
We could start with the bracelet of rock magic. You'd probably like that because it's defensive, and unobtrusive, and quite attractive.
Okay, you can start with that then.
Yes, and if he wants more than that, then I'll come in with crystal wall.
I think that's good.
Yeah. It's useful as it is, even without attunement. It allows you to cast scry, but it's on a person. It's not a location.
Gotcha.
That's one of the restrictions.
Yep.
But it's one thing I found out about it is if you attune to it, it allows you to have a basically remote control eyeball. You can drive around.
Oh, Kilrog.
Yeah, but
it's your eyeball.
It's your eyeball. Which means you've got to take your eye out to attune it. You then have a magic item which you can put back in your eyeball socket and then take out and use. Which means you can't replace it with another eyeball. And you can use a heal spell after you finish using it.
I'm not certain necessarily you need to demonstrate or explain all the capabilities of the item. We can potentially allow him to find out what's useful after he's used it.
Well, I can give him the basic use of a crystal ball. I can't demonstrate any further action. I'm going to be open about that.
If you're happy with those options, then we can at least see if he's interested.
So he turns back. He seemed to have been conversing with
someone else while we're conspiring with each other. Yep.
So there's someone else present up then from his church is there, or
his bodyguard, who then steps back into the shadows and disappears. There's not much of shadows in the hallway, but you can't see him.
It's more that I hadn't thought anyone else was there, but I understand that. Yep.
Yeah, if there are curtains, therefore there are shadows for people like that to hide in.
And Title's probably feeling it right now.
I'm going to be outside.
20-foot curtains.
Yep, I'm going to be
big,
outside.
long, narrow ones like tentacles.
Okay, and there are people on the dance floor dancing with curtains?
I'm getting out of here.
This is why he's never going home. Kelp.
Cool.
And seagrass.
We don't wish to keep him waiting.
So as you're walking out, I'll give you a perception roll.
Recepticon. That's a 20.
Okay, yeah. So as you're walking out, you see Drazzle surrounded by a sea of red cloaks.
A sea of red cloaks.
Yep, and red draperies all around him.
Why?
Because they listen to what the bishop said.
They're the inquisitors.
These curtains are.
These red curtain wearing inquisitors.
Oh right, yeah.
Okay, you're not actually there to actually explain it further.
That's right, because people here wear curtains. It's really weird. It's very uncomfortable.
He doesn't do cloaks, obviously.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't like cloaks because they're too much like draperies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when they're like mine and waft on their own.
I used to wear cloaks until I took a 3-story building to the knee.
Yeah.
So what does Tidal do seeing Dressel surrounded?
I don't know.
Basically,
Do I know he's in danger?
Hard to tell.
Well,
What do I
they
roll
will-
for danger
they-
sense?
Look at it this way. You've never known Dressel to actually be in danger.
He's fine. Drazel's fine. If they
However, you probably recognise the religious folk of the town and of this world and their attitude towards magic and non-humans.
It's not the attitude towards non-humans I'm worried about. It's the attitude towards fucking curtains.
Yes. Because he looks like a human right at the moment, so that's not the issue.
Yes. But the bishop did mention that the amount of magic that we were carrying could attract the attention of the Red Cloaks.
Yes, so the fact that he's carrying magic is what they're responding to, probably not his appearance.
What's willpower?
Actually, if it was appearance, they'd probably be attacking
wisdom,
him right
isn't
now.
it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a 10. I'm gonna go try and save Drazel.
Okay. How do you do that? Do you set the cloaks on fire?
No, I grab him by the shoulders, not dragging him outside. Saying,
Okay.
the curtains will get you, Drazel. We need to go.
Okay, you push your way through a bunch of people.
Yep, that's fine.
With
Don't care.
curtains.
They're wearing curtains.
That they're all saying these really weird things that you have no idea what they're saying as you push outside.
Curtain worshippers.
Say that out loud.
Yes.
This is good music for this bit.
Yeah, so I'll grab Drazel and say, we need to run from the curtains, Drazel, quickly.
He picks you up and runs outside.
Cool.
You forgot to open the door though. You still make it outside.
Followed by his...
Through the door?
Yeah.
Followed by
How
his
much
growing
damage is
audience.
that?
The door didn't
He's alright.
survive long.
He didn't take any. He used you as the buffer.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering how much damage it is.
Probably about 2 slashing damage.
Oh, 2 slashing damage. Okay.
It was glass.
Oh, it's a glass door. Okay. What? Alright.
So that's why he went through it. He didn't see it was open or see it was closed.
Well,
Alright, cool.
he's going, I must be outside. That's the way to get there. Opening it wasn't the issue.
Well, he was carrying someone at the time.
That's
Yep.
right.
He just likes to be your bodyguard every now and then.
Yep.
Okay, so back to
I will offer the where's the word? Bracelet of rock magic.
Okay. He says, may he hold and examine the item.
Yes.
You hold out his hand.
Put it in his hand.
He looks at the item.
He probably won't pick up one of the things about it.
I was expecting something else entirely.
Mm.
It looks at the hand. When did you last clean that?
We did wash up before we came in here.
Most of you did, yes.
Most. Bloody Peridot.
So,
You stick to air baths, don't you? Actually, that's one of the reasons why you've lived so long, is you actually bathe rather than just wait for rain.
Well, they do have their traditional dirt baths.
So I'm pretty certain
have
that
their
Penadier actually went to the effort of trying to ensure that his +1 for the evening was well dressed and accoutrate, to therefore give her a better chance of actually finding an alternate lifestyle because she didn't want to be a goat herd.
Yeah. So you have actually bathed and stuff.
So
He's looking like a pretty boy for a change.
Yes.
obviously he didn't go for too pretty because hey, he didn't want to show up any potential suitors for his date.
Didn't want to scare them off.
He looks at it and says, maybe, have you anything else?
Yeah. I give it a think for a couple of moments, then I get out the crystal ball.
Okay, he examines that one. He ums and ahs about that as well. Looking at it.
You should try to convince him.
Yeah. It is a... Yeah. I'll say what they actually do. The unattuned versions of them, anyway.
He pulls out of his jacket a potion. He says, "The Inquisition has confiscated this from some foul diabolists practicing the dark arts in secret in the region."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, looking at both of the items, if you're willing to exchange for both of the items, he will give you the potion now.
I look at the others. We are willing to make that trade.
He hands you
those terms.
He hands you the potion.
Yes. And you, of course,
Are we
your
sure
part
this
are
is
making sure that the potion is being appropriately disposed of, and will not be a danger to your parish.
Are we sure this is the potion we're actually looking for?
Well, that's the next thing for me to check.
Settle
So
down.
I'm going to have a good look at it.
Okay. You have a look at the potion.
Best person available for doing that.
It's a light red in colour and has speckles of glittering sand floating in a suspension of pink liquid.
Yeah.
Kesley, give me a perception check.
And remember, I'm using this with my magic sight too.
Where's my perception? Oh, 22.
It's exactly the same potion as what you saw the woman drinking.
I subtly let them know. Pretty good.
Yeah.
We thank the bishop for his time. And as stated, we will properly dispose of this potion and not have it within your parish's area.
And he's happy if you come across more, heretical items. He's more than happy to take them off your hands.
Absolutely, we thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you for his time.
And see that they're dealt with accordingly.
Mm.
So glad he didn't say it in front of me.
Yeah, you're a bit distracted helping Drazzle.
Well, I would have answered like heretical items like curtains, you mean?
Drazzle's busily picking bits of shards out of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Out of my forehead and legs.
Yes. It would have been. We apologise for our compatriot. He's in treatment.
Not wrong.
Well, strictly you are.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So amusingly, that was one of 4 ways you could have gotten the potion.
Yeah. Fair enough. But we had the spare items.
Oh no, that was it. If you didn't
Yeah.
have any, and he wanted something of rarity, rare or higher.
Yep.
And if you had offered anything below that, he would have rejected you.
Yep. So the bracelet, I think,
Was
is
very
uncommon. It is very rare. Okay.
And the orb was very rare.
Yeah.
What was the wand?
Rare.
Haven't done the wand.
The wand was rare.
We didn't get
Yeah. No, I was saying, but I was curious. What you gave away, you could have kept hold of. I suppose, like
No, we gave
in simple value terms.
Yeah.
Obviously, for our value, the value of all of them were fairly meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
the,
If I were to say if I were to sell those in Darrakan, it would have been a good whackload of cash, because there's always somebody willing to give up an eyeball to be a sneaky ass.
I'm sure many a pirate would.
Yes.
Aye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 crystal balls. One for each eye.
But their crystal balls are scary.
Yes, because they're skulls for a start.
I know they tune their ships to them.
Oh, yeah.
They turn their ships into summoning circles.
Mm. Yes, and then call undead on them. Or demons.
So
Demons are undead, I can't remember which.
They don't use either in the ones that do it.
Okay.
No, they don't deal with the underworld. But
So-
they take out the Roman nation with them.
Yeah, but things like elementals and stuff would be entirely valid.
They normally send equipment and people through it.
Oh, they're just using it as transport. Yeah, no, that's a perfectly good reason for ships.
Imagine a pirate ship that never runs out of people.
Yeah, or ammo.
It really takes large groups, but if you can pass a crate every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Half a ton of ballista ammo on the regular is Pretty devastating.
Okay, so you've managed to get that and get out without anything major happening.
Yes, we certainly won't hang around too long at the ball.
Once we're out of that building, we are off ski.
Mm-hmm.
So but the
I think we need to get to the inn for the night where our gracious benefactor has paid for our stay.
Yes.
Hunker down for the night, and we leave first thing in the morning to Castle Sailor so that we can get to the Feywild.
Okay.
Before Peter departs, with anyone else departs, he will confirm the current status of his +1, whose name's got out of my head. But
Okay, she is currently dancing with someone in finery.
In finery?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, she looks like she's in a good spot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait till she's finished, excuse yourself, and then bug out.
I will.
If you want to be polite.
I will catch up with you back at the tavern.
Yep.
And then, yes, I will wait for an opportunity to, when she's less busy, even if it takes an hour, 2 hours, whatever, just standing on the sidelines politely.
When she finishes that dance, you can get 2 minutes with it.
Okay, so the three of them heading out now get to make another perception roll as you're heading off to see if you notice anything useful.
16.
12. Boring.
And what about
me. Okay.
Because Brady is staying around.
Right. I thought I stayed.
And you hadn't actually left yet. I caught up with you.
Well, I could have had shards in my face, so you know.
Yeah, Drizzle pulling them out. He was distracted. He does like to say nursery rhymes while he does so, but the nursery rhymes are all horrific.
So a.
They're original Grimm's fairy tales.
+2. Wisdom.
Not the bowdlerized ones. Have you read the originals? Yeah. Cool.
Yep, so just 18.
18. Okay, so two of you do notice that there's a bunch of red cloaks around a guy outside. As the well happily walks off.
Can't we just like stay
having
in
missed
one
that
place?
entirely? Yeah.
And then like burn them all.
So yes, there's red draperies outside as far as
so you're plotting.
I'm just trying to get rid of these curtains.
They keep following you.
I know.
They're following you.
Get away from these curtains. Away from this curtain world.
So you head off down the street, following the billowing curtain in front of you.
What direction are there no curtains?
The other.
There's curtains everywhere. Shit. You're surrounded by curtains.
Everyone's in long cloaks.
Okay, I'm gonna just.
The lights have curtains on them.
I know I've got to try and keep my cool for my allies, so I'm gonna try and just meditate and try and keep my cool.
Okay.
Right.
Give me a wisdom saving throw. How good was that?
Bad.
Yeah. That was a 7.
Okay. You keeping cool starts off with a scream. And you're still held by Drizzle, who starts patting you.
Yep. I hope Drizzle's a therapist because I'll need it.
I'm a therapist.
Yeah, but I don't trust you. You wear curtains.
I could leave the curtain off.
Yeah, but yours billows and shit. It's really weird. And when there's no wind as well, it billows. It's creepy.
It's showing it's properly bound and contained.
There's no wind.
It has never attacked you ever once.
So was most of the curtains never attacked him.
Well, yeah, as you said, yes.
Yeah, it's curtains in waiting.
Mm-hmm. And a curtain in waiting attacked me, and I killed it.
So, you scream, and then what happened?
I cry?
That's fair enough response.
It's therapeutic. I know.
Okay, so Drizzle just carries you behind the billowing curtain.
Yeah.
And it just sort of billows in front of you the entire way.
I'm just going to close my eyes and cry. I've had enough of these curtains. I've had up to here with these curtains. I'm quite
and so that
Most
they've
of them
walked
are
off
taller
on
than
you.
that.
What do you do?
I'm gonna head back to the.
You've headed up to
head
up
back
to
to
there with
the
curtains.
thing.
There.
I'm gonna assume
Okay.
it might have been the red cloaks we're talking to.
I didn't think you were so tall.
The guy we might have talked to
Yeah, he's
earlier.
Well, you hear a scream behind you.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Like
I know you're taller than humans, but they're like
Like
5.5.
Like someone's been stabbed rather brutally through.
He's 6 feet something.
Yeah. I
sounds like you're using
turn around and try to see what happens.
I'll have to double check.
Yeah. You see the red cloak people walk away from a body lying on the ground.
I go towards the body and see if whoever screamed is alive.
It does look familiar.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
Yeah.
Does he look alive?
Well, he's got probably about 7 or 8 red holes through him.
Pretty
so I'm
close
go
on
with
7 foot tall.
Be hard to tell from this distance.
Shorter,
I go ahead. I get closer to him and see. Can I do a medicine check?
Sure.
14.
14. He's dead.
Yeah. Okay. I guess.
Bit killed.
Looks like 6 different rapier wounds.
Yeah.
In the front and the back.
I don't really know what to do with his body, so I close his eyes and put his body in a dignified manner, and then allow whoever is the authority here to take care of the body. I guess that's the only thing I feel I can do at this point.
Okay, and while you're doing that, a guy comes around the corner and goes, "Hey, you there? What are you doing?"
I just saw this man here, and wanted to just put him to the side as he was disturbing the party guests.
You got blood all over your hands.
Because I was moving the body.
Why didn't you just get someone? You obviously done something with this.
I moved him so that I can get him out of the way so I could go get somebody.
That's what servants are for.
He looks very distrusting, and he calls out for more guards. Guards! Guards!
I stand still and I say, I try to say, I understand. I was hoping to find somebody to help take care of this, but I didn't want to leave him there.
It's okay. Found someone you have.
Yeah. Yeah. So
as you see, 4 more burly guards come around the corner.
Are red cloak guards or regular guards?
Regular guards.
All right.
I guess
household
blood on her hands. Oh, she's obviously the one who's done it.
Are you carrying a rapier?
No, I didn't.
Obviously, rapier wounds.
No, we didn't bring our weapons, so I didn't.
No, you did bring your weapons.
We did.
You didn't.
We didn't.
No.
So I say,
I'm unarmed.
Guards, there you are. I found this man. He was lying here dead. I wanted to move him because he was in the way of everybody else. I didn't want to disturb other guards.
I just came right. I've been on duty this whole time, and you were here when I came around the corner.
I just heard the scream.
Just make it clear it can't
I
be
came
you.
around right after I heard the scream too, and there you were over the body.
To move him because he was. I thought he was alive, and he's not.
Okay, so they turn to each other and discuss it and go, yeah, she's guilty.
Call for an advocate. I can give you a hand.
Can I?
Or am I too far away?
The well can make a disadvantage roll for perception to see if you can hear.
Yeah.
Because he has billowed off.
Yes. Well, having rolled a 19 and a 16, I think I'm actually in a pretty good boat right at the moment.
Yep. You get a whiff of something, turn around, and you see Lani surrounded by 5 people in town guard attire.
Yeah. Yes, my perception went to 22.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Drizzle just walks right past carrying a sobbing Tidal.
Drizzle, we might need you for this as well. Come here.
He just, throws Tidal over his shoulder.
Okay.
He says, okay.
Well,
Drizzle come.
Yeah.
And he just keeps patting him on the back as he goes.
Why are you carrying Tidal?
Tidal broken.
It's not wrong.
No, Tidal okay. Tidal broken.
Tidal. Was it curtains again?
It was the curtains.
Okay, just for now. Right.
Okay, so yes,
Yeah,
Lani.
I tell the guards, I'm like,
Lani, there appears to be a problem. What's up?
this man was stabbed, and I was.
Yes, look, the dagger's on him already. She stabbed him with that dagger, one of the guards says.
There's a dagger
What
on
appears to
him?
have
Yeah,
gone all-
you see that there's a dagger sticking out from under his top.
Oh yeah.
But some of those
get there.
But
It's been there.
But some of those go all the way through, and she's not carrying a weapon at all.
She obviously used that dagger. Can't you tell anything? Aren't you educated? He says, looking at you.
I look at the dagger. Is there actually any blood on the hilt of the dagger?
There's not.
There's blood all over the dagger. The guy, been stabbed recently. Blood's everywhere. And there's blood all over her hands because she was checking him. Doesn't look good from your perspective.
I tell the guards I was simply doing I was simply checking his pulse to see if he was alive, and
what he said? What's the pulse?
It's 19, 20.
No, I know, but not everyone's educated.
I say it's. I was trying to feel for his heartbeat to see if there was any life left within him, and unfortunately.
What? So you can make sure he's dead?
No, it's to make sure that he was alive, and unfortunately it was too late.
Why would she have stabbed him from 6 different directions?
Mass murderers do things like that. That's not saying.
No, they usually stab all in the same place, or pretty close to, like the heart or something.
Forensic killer.
He's been stabbed in both kidneys. Do you really think the dagger's going to have gone that far in?
What's a kidney?
Internal organs.
I say.
What's internal stays inside? You just stabbed it all.
I say it seems that the other guards here were surrounding him when I left, and when I heard a scream, I turned around.
What other guards? There's no other guards around here.
The red cloaked.
There's no red cloaks around here. He's just looking around.
They left.
How could they have left? I came right around the corner, and you're the only one inside.
You took.
Title. Do you see anyone wearing red curtains?
It took me enough time to walk back to him, and so obviously, what happened is there was a scream. I turned. I came to check to see if he was alive, and he was not. And
they're dumb. Well,
are you calling me dumb? He says.
No, you are beautifully and excitingly competent at the job that you've been given. And it's wonderful to see.
Then how come she doesn't understand that? She's obviously the murderer.
Because you're not a judge, and that's a judge's job.
That's okay. We will go get the bishop to officiate this one because it was done during the outside there, or the mayor. Either of them will do. They're like nice, simple, and clean cut. Blood on person, blood on body. Done.
It's at times like this I really understand other warlocks' affinities for fireballs.
And he starts walking off into the building, with leaving the other 4 guards outside.
I was gonna say, did the other 4 guards go with?
Yeah. No. Look, we'll look after this. You go with him and make sure that they've got a proper escort.
They look at you. Sure. He pulls out some manacles and goes to walk towards Lani with the manacles.
I'll do those for you. You go. Get inside.
I don't know.
Have a drink.
You don't work for me.
We've just made a wonderful deal with the bishop. He knows us well. He'll be fine with this.
But the bishop will vouch for you.
Yeah.
He should. We're fucking out of town after this.
Yeah, we are.
We can't hang around.
Give me a deception check.
I am going to do that very thing. There we go. Deception. Right, 21.
I knew this was a bad idea, but Lonnie was going to do it anyway.
Okay. Hand you the manacles.
No problem. I go approach Lonnie
and then they all walk inside to help.
They all walk inside? I'm like, alright, you guys, let's go.
I never said they were smart.
No.
But you have to say it with authority.
Yes. Now, let's go get our stuff and get out of town. Wash your hands on the way.
Yep.
There's going to be a bucket. We'll use the bucket.
Yep. We do that. We'll hightail it out there.
Okay. You run off.
Yes.
Yep.
Jozzle gets bounced a lot with title on his shoulder.
That's fine.
He's tough. He's a
I'm
monk.
slowly getting over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a monk. He's tough. He can
But
handle
the
this.
further away we get from these curtains, the better.
You can treat it like exercise.
It's not the first time it's happened either.
Okay, so pray dear.
You missed an opportunity there.
What?
Well, why did the red cloak want to kill him? He obviously had magic all over him.
They probably took it.
Should have said that.
They may have taken it.
Yeah. They didn't have time. Lani was already there.
So, Praedia inside. So while you're waiting, the dance finishes, and you see quite a few guards rush up to the mayor in charge, and a commotion seems to have happened outside.
Does that interrupt the activities at all, or just?
It sort of has a bit of a buzz in there, but most people are having that sort of bored attitude towards it. You know, what's outside stays outside. What's inside stays inside.
Well, okay. If the music and the dancing has stopped briefly, Penedy will take the opportunity to move up to Celeste. And I looked at my notes again.
It helps.
And explain that my companions and I will be leaving in the very near future.
She says, "Good luck." He says, "Good luck, and if you come back this way again, she would be happy to catch up with you," and gives you a kiss on the cheek.
I bid you good wishes for the remainder of your life until we meet again.
We're about to leave the entire dimension. Bye.
But Kennedy could be rest easy thinking that, well, okay, he's at least given it the opportunity to find a new life.
Yes.
And then he will aim to quietly move out.
Yes.
Studiously ignoring a bunch of guardsmen having walked out the front door, looking around, saying, "Hey, where'd they go?"
So once you step outside, there's a bunch of guardsmen, and there's a body on the ground that you recognise.
And what's the body? What's the recognition?
The guy who you convinced to wait outside.
Oh dear.
The guy that was going to kill the bishop with a poison dagger.
Ah, yes.
Which was the dagger he had on him.
Yep.
Right.
So that's why it's important to not
So
touch.
it was actually, from one point of view, it was actually a legitimate execution by the Red Cloaks.
From a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view.
So Brady just moves on.
I will quietly move around and not disturb the guardsmen at their work. So, because I had to say, he was silly enough to wait outside when he was told to go home.
Yes.
And you hear one of the guys describing how he witnessed this woman describing Lani stabbing at him with this dagger.
Right.
I will.
So it was obviously, you can tell by the angle of attack, it was obviously made by a woman, he says.
Yes, Mr. CSI.
Well, no, look. Seeing he's already said, I witnessed it happen, everything else is going to be in the same line.
Oh, no, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So obviously you're a vicious killer and were frothing at the mouth at the time as well.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
And it was completely unprovoked too, he says.
I want to say, she must have been, her time of the month.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That'll come up
she
as
was
well.
going crazy.
Yeah.
She needs to be put into an asylum for.
Yeah.
And then you have the mayor sort of go. So she stabbed him with this knife. He goes, yeah. That's to make for the hole.
Penedy find a nice dark shadow to actually.
And he did it multiple times. The guy goes, yeah. Through the body. Yeah, definitely through the body. Which is thicker than the blade. Yeah, definitely. That was how hard she was hitting him.
Yeah, it's going to be everywhere. It's one of the.
Did the mayor seem to recognise the description of Lani?
No, I never met
the mayor won't.
Oh, but who?
Well, no, we spoke to the mayor.
Did we?
Yeah.
And
before the mission arrived, we were talking to the mayor.
That's right. We were talking to the mayor.
And the mayor says, and so she also ran off with the weapon that we found here. And the guy goes, yeah, she ran off with the weapon that we found here. Looking very confused. Are you just telling me what I want to hear? He nods, then shakes his head.
Right. Mr. Mayor, would you like me to foom him for you? No, I don't say that.
Well, yes. After Penedix heard the conversation enough to recognise that, okay, the lady's not going to be instantly mobbed.
Yeah, this is a time where I'm thinking it would have been nice to have another of the ritual spells I'm looking at, Skywrite, and it's right in the sky. We're off ski.
And he will aim to return to the tavern. And hopefully find the others still there.
And as you're leaving, you hear the mayor say, I know where they're staying. We'll go there in the morning and question them about this further.
Thank you.
So when the guide was describing to the mayor, did the mayor seem to actually recognise immediately, like the expression or anything like that?
Well, he sort of kept poking holes in the guy's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have an idea the mayor probably does know who he was referring to.
Yes.
Yes.
And then obviously with the statement that yes, we can see them in the morning because I know where they are.
I would put money, because we're out of view by this point, I'm presuming. I would put money on during his last line. He was checking down the street to see where we were.
Well, I'm sure you guys actually were well out of sight before they came out of the car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but well out of sight doesn't mean out of hearing.
Yeah. Certainly Penedix was there listening to it, obviously deliberately out of sight, but and then, yes, he'll come and catch you guys at the tavern.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
So 10 minutes after,
find you mid-packing.
So 10 minutes after you reach the tavern, Praetor shows up.
Oh, good.
With the others.
Pass on the word that.
Oh, thank you.
You guys, okay? The mayor's apparently going to give some time, but it is time. Did he notice you guys have already started packing or not?
Well, if it's only been 10 minutes, yeah, we've started packing.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes,
we're not waiting for dinner. Put it that way.
Well, isn't it by now like 1
I need
in the morning?
communication spells.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's about 1 in the morning, and then
right.
So he'll be here probably about 7 hours.
Well, I would suggest we not wait.
Still prefer that we sleep sort of out there in the danger rather than in here where it's safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because they're the wrong way around. So.
I agree. I think we need to. Well, we still need to get a boat from here.
Yes.
So.
What do we need a boat for?
Where the boats are.
Hang on, what do we need a boat for?
Because we have to go through the swamps in order to get.
We need a boat.
We need to go we need to get to
we don't need to go to the
river.
swamp anymore, do we?
No, you don't.
No,
we don't.
Because that was one of the ways to get the potion was to go to the swamps.
Right.
Is it?
Yes, because we would get it from some of the people who could have
Well,
some.
originally, on the notice we found in Castle Amber, it said that the potion of time would be in whatever town is to the swamp.
Yeah.
But we now found that before we got to the swamp, so therefore we can go north from here because we're now looking for the sword of whatever the castle is.
Including we can do it by taking a boat.
Looking at whoever has the map. I'm looking at the map.
Yep.
I remember there being a river.
There is a river.
And then we needed to cross the river.
You can actually head out of the building on that side of the river. Out of the city on that side of the river because the river runs through the city.
Okay. So yeah, we leave from that side, so we'll be on that bank of the river.
So potentially, yes. Considering we're probably not going to get a boat easily at this stage,
and
particularly
I would suggest we keep just walking up the side of the river.
Yeah.
Which will hopefully take us somewhere near the haunted castle, whatever it was that we're trying to find. Ruin.
Yes.
How far do we know the castle will be?
Several dozen miles, I believe, but.
So
yeah, we're going to want a vehicle.
140 miles.
Yeah, so that's like if we were to walk it, that's
through
like a whole week.
Heavy forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even if we go fast, it's still half a week, and that's way too long.
Would it be possible?
We can whiffle a vehicle from somewhere.
We can get a vehicle, but if we got a boat of some kind, we can take the river north to it.
Which way does the river run, north or south?
That's a good question.
It runs south, and you have to go.
Okay, so I'm assuming it runs south towards the swamp.
Yeah.
You run against the river.
Yes, we'd need people with an actual.
You would need a motor, like the.
Or a good sized sail and good wind.
Which I don't. If there's heavy forest on each side, I don't think we're gonna get. So.
Or a barge, if they run barges up the river.
If we could get horses, or one of those motor carriages.
Yes.
But then they say the road goes.
We need to do that.
The road goes up on the other side of the river.
It does. There's no road to where these ruins are.
And like it would certainly, if we had,
so
if we managed to get a road back up to the original inn we found, which from memory was fairly moderately closer to the.
Well, that's where we first got the boat from.
That would cut the time in the forest. But I'm thinking that at this stage it is the advantage of actually going straight up the eastern side of the river through the forest is we're not likely to get followed.
No. Yeah, we want horses.
It will take a bit longer.
Yeah, we want horses because of the end of the trip. It's worthwhile us getting horses from the beginning, just so we're not trying to nick horses halfway up.
Well, I wouldn't expect you'll find many places to get horses anywhere.
We're in a big-sized town. There's going to be multiple places to get horses. That's why I want to get them here.
You're planning on stealing horses in the middle of the night?
Well, that's something you're good at, isn't it? I say grinning.
You're planning on stealing horses, and you're asking a ex-member of the Watch to do such things. And you're suggesting that he's
borrowing. We're not going to keep the horses, but we're going to.
And you're going to return them.
We're going to have to either buy or steal horses.
But you're not going to buy horses at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, and if we
we'll walk, we'll get there.
We're going to be either buying or stealing horses at some point, because we can't not. We don't have the time to just walk. All right.
I'm not seeing any place to get horses from.
Well, nicking horses
before we leave.
Nicking horses in the middle of the night is going to be a bit fraught anyway. Nicking horses in the middle of the night is going to be a bit fraught because they don't like getting woken up.
Exactly. And the point is that between here, if we're going up the river or alongside the river through the forest, we're not likely to find anything between here and the ruin that we seek.
Yeah, there's likely nothing in between.
Yeah, which means
look at the map again. There's no townships.
Which means travelling on this side of the river, so we've got access to, say, farms or towns or villages where we can get horses. Because the alternative is doing 140 miles on foot.
Yep.
And you may be up for that, but we're not.
Now, I'm not seeing any places on this map where we're likely to actually.
So I'm not looking at the map because I don't have it accessible to me at the moment.
Well, we had the map, and you can see the map. Because I'm assuming that as part of the packing side of the house, we're looking at the map to work out which way we're going.
That place, and that's that place.
That's the river in the middle there, and as you can see, there's no road and there's nothing in the middle. Right. Really.
So the best thing that could happen to us right at the moment is finding that they actually run barges up the river, and there's a barge path to follow.
If
that's the absolute best.
If that's something that exists, I guess we can look alongside the river line in the town.
That would allow us to, one, walk out of the town straight up. Second up, we'd be going along between the river and the forest on what's basically a dead flat road with no bumps. Which gives, even if we stay on foot, that's still ideal travel, if that is a canal path. Okay. Oh, sorry, a barge path.
Even if it's not, the point is there's not many other options.
Well, my point is this would be a hell of a lot faster than, say, walking through the forest.
Find out that there is a nice path alongside the river. But if there's not, it doesn't change our options.
Well, we do actually have an option which I have available to us. Which is a ritual.
So you reach the river. List.
Yes.
Looking at the river and looking northwards, you see that the eastern shore is full of brambles and thick roots that go partway into the river.
We're not travelling up that way, no how.
And you were warned that that side of the river is dangerous.
Yes.
Most people don't go there. Actually touching it, most people don't touch the river.
But how wide is the river?
The river itself is about 5 to 6 miles wide.
So it's not like we can cross the river if we go up the other side.
It's fairly shallow. You think you could wade it
here and there.
Most of the way, you think you can wade it, and it is slow moving.
Well, at least at this location.
Right. So at the moment, the river's one, not navigable except by extremely flat bottom boats, and two, not much use for anything other than protecting you from vampires, which may have its own use. But it does mean we can track back and forth across the river pretty well at will.
And you still remember the local saying at the elves tell you don't walk in the river.
Yeah. So yeah, we'd do that. If they're walking the river, then there's possibly even going to be paths where they're.
Well, the elf said don't walk in the river.
Oh, don't walk in the river.
So the idea is we want to go up the eastern side, so therefore we don't have to cross the river.
Yeah, except we've just had a description. The eastern side looks bloody horrible.
I don't think.
Although, actually, hold on. You said it's brambles down to the river. That's only going to be the edge. The forest itself is going to. Hold on a sec, please. I ask some questions. The forest itself is going to be a lot clearer than the edge.
You don't know, you haven't gone into it.
Well, I'm thinking about normal forests. The thickest part of it is the edge of it because that's where there's more light.
Well, your wilderness tribesman is telling you that we can go through the forest.
Yeah, well, that's part of what I was checking for.
The elves told us the east side is dangerous.
Yes,
but
we can't get across the river if we go up the west side.
We can walk across the river.
The old course said do not go into the river.
Yeah, we've been told don't go in it.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think it's character. I think this is player knowledge, not character knowledge. Yeah. That like rivers wash away magic.
That's what the elves said.
Yeah.
Okay, so the elves did say that. Okay.
Yeah.
And what magic it washes away doesn't come back.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Now, either way.
And one of the things I was thinking of, I don't actually have yet, unfortunately.
Either way, we should leave town now to get a few hours behind us before any search is followed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we going on the west or east side of the river?
East
side. Is definitely voting for the east.
East side. And I'm hoping it's a normal forest and is relatively clear once you get inside it.
Okay. So
it may be a bit lumpy because it's not managed forest, but not all brambles and stuff. Because otherwise, I don't want to take 2 weeks to get there.
Yeah, so it takes you about most of the night to reach the edge of the forest.
Right.
Because it's not cut; it's been cut back from the town. Being able to see the brambles all on the edge is different to actually getting into the forest itself.
Oh yeah.
Penadier will attempt to ensure that we're not leaving any trail behind us as we're heading out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
18, 20 odd on survival.
Now you are able to manage to obscure the trail, but you do know that this is a very hardy sort of land anyway, so it doesn't leave trail.
There wasn't expecting to leave much trail, that's fine.
Yeah.
And certainly, yes, he's more keen to actually at least get to the cover of the forest edge.
Yes.
And so it takes a few hours to get there, is what you said?
And you manage to reach the edge of the forest at sunrise and hear the sound of some sort of alarm going up behind you.
Yes. We've got to stay in front of that.
As you step into the forest, it's like going from a sort of warm, humid sort of thing to damp, cool. Like you just stepped into a fridge.
It's damp.
Okay. Just the kind of forest that Kennedy is completely used to up on the plateau with no wood around.
I know that there is the forest where your tribes are.
Yeah, there is a forest. Okay, it's more scrubby than this dense thing.
It was sort of I was thinking that whilst Kennedy was not actually advertising the fact that, hey, I know woods, he was happy to accept that you might think he knows woods, but knowing the player that, well, actually, he probably doesn't know these woods in any way, shape or form.
No, well, I was thinking that because I've seen the odd few woods, and yours aren't this.
And as you get in here, this is very rocky terrain, but it is navigatable. It's just...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's not the brambles up to the neck that you get at the edge. But yeah, unmanaged forest, it's rough ground. There's no paths here, except for small critters.
It doesn't look as if humans have intruded on this forest for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, once we get into the forest, a few hundred yards type stuff.
Yeah.
Peter will say, wait here a moment, rest up. I'll just go back and ensure that there's no traps or markings as to where we've entered.
No problem. We'll keep an eye out for things just in case something turns up.
Okay, so everyone gets to make a perception roll while you're looking for stuff, including Jeremy.
Yep.
13.
18 for Peter.
23.
6.
Okay, so
probably paranoid.
Two of you are quite happy with the state of things. You're all perfectly safe, nothing to see here.
I've never been in a heavy forest before. This is cool.
Yes, and Peter would be walking back looking for evidence of our passing as much as anything else.
So,
oh yeah, you're busy.
I'm too busy enjoying the curtain in this forest.
So far.
Just for you, I'm going to have my cloak wrapped around my arm. There we go. Curtain free.
Okay.
And Drizzle goes, wraps the blanket around you.
Blanket?
Yes,
Why
a fluffy. It's a fluffy curtain.
I'm hoping I can tell the difference between a blanket and a curtain.
Well, it's wrapped around you rather than hung up and suspended. Yeah.
It's like when somebody.
It's also got fluffy bunnies on it.
It's like when someone uses a throw blanket as a tapestry.
Yeah, it has all pink little dragons on it.
Fluffy dragons, yes, not rabbit.
Yeah.
Fluffy dragons being menaced by an enormous rabbit.
Yeah.
He's probably used it on me before, so I
Yes.
think I'm used to it.
And Llewell notices there's the smell of burning wood to the north.
To the north.
The way you're going.
Yeah.
Not that far away, actually. You can even hear a bit of a cackle of fire.
Right. Okay.
Probably within the mile.
Does that smell to me like and sound to me like a forest fire or someone cooking? Although if I can hear it and it's a mile away, that's a forest fire.
Well,
not necessarily.
Less than a mile, it could be a bonfire. It could be
because
it's a big fire.
Because it's a tightly packed forest. And it does make sound travel well.
Yeah, when there's no other sound.
The point is, you can hear crackling. You can't tell exactly how far away it is. You can make your own mind up as to how far away it is based upon what you can hear.
It's okay.
Less than a mile.
It's a big fire.
You can hear it, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
Which means if it's close, it's not very big.
Yes.
If
it's or it's in a hole.
If it's the fact that
it's indeterminate exactly how far away it is.
Well, I'm just
There's
saying.
nothing more can be said about it.
And I said you thought it was about a mile away.
We've just been travelling directly towards it at night. If it was a forest fire, there would have been light.
Unless it's only just been started.
Also, it is daytime.
Given who we're up against, I wouldn't put money against it. But I will tell the others that I can hear and smell a fire somewhere around a mile north of us.
And neither the other two can smell any of it.
Yeah. I've got a good nose. I'm an elf.
I say we should wait for Parody.
Well, we'll wait for Parody and then move forward.
We should slowly move forward and have Parody take front.
Yeah, but just taking account, not just sort of moving as fast as we could sort of thing. And it's rough terrain. It's all lumpy. There could be a bonfire 100 yards away and we'd never see it. Except at night where we'd see the glow on the trees. So, we'll wait for Parody and then move carefully forward.
Okay. So, after about an hour, Parody comes back after cleaning tracks.
Yep.
You do smell a bit of the smoke. It's just faint pops of it here and there. For Parody.
Yep.
It's the equivalent of someone having a tobacco pipe upwind.
Yes, but quite a way. Yeah. But it is wood fire, not grass fire or anything like that. Not that there's really much of a difference in the woodland.
There is. You could basically
you
can tell the difference between most of it.
And there's different coloured smoke that comes out of a grass fire compared to a forest fire. So.
Yeah, it's wood smoke without leaf smoke. That's the thing. Yeah, so it's a deliberate fire. Hello.
If you eat that, you can have that.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Ariadna.
That lucky
Hello.
banana. Okay.
So, Pettideer's all happy. So you guys have all had a short rest, and
yes, I do tell you about the fire when you turn up as well. What I detected. Yep.
We'll get closer to it, but it's not an issue. It's okay.
Yeah, it's almost definitely small enough that we can avoid it if we need to.
So Pettideer will aim to lead the way, trying to find a decent pathway that makes it be going as easy as possible for these apparently people who are concerned about not being able to walk for a mere 150 miles.
So could you give me a survival roll as you're taking them by the scenic route?
We weren't concerned about not being able to walk that distance. It's doing it in reasonable time.
25.
25. Okay, so he takes you over valleys and up cliffs and
I am aiming to make this the quick route. Yes. I'm not saying that's not the way we're going, but I'm saying I make it a bit quick route.
Yeah, which is why you went for the short cliff that was easy to climb.
Exactly.
Rather than the tall cliff that's not easy to climb, but is covered in brambles.
Taking advantage of animal trails and things like that.
That's right.
It easier to get through the
we will follow this. We will follow the squirrel.
And you also see wolf sizes, the size of horses.
That's a big wolf.
Not just one wolf, multiple tracks to say that there's more than one wolf the size of a horse in this area.
Yeah.
So, if we meet those, are you sure you can make friends with them? I will see what I can do.
So give me a nature roll, Jeremy.
Sorry?
Give me a nature roll.
7.
This we find out this is where the wolves
16.
Okay, you look at the tracks. There's something wrong with the wolf tracks. They're not.
These are not natural wolves.
Right. So yes,
wolves do not come in the size of horses as a general rule.
No, well,
it's not the size; it's the shape is wrong.
Right. So these are actually werewolves.
Yeah, but Pettideer won't be actually out to scare these untrained sticky folk, apparently. But he'll say the fact that yes, we are. We should keep moving and stay alert.
And the closer you get to the area that's smoking, the more of the tracks you come across.
Oh, okay.
But that's up to you if you tell them that.
Okay, but it is still certainly the most direct and the easiest route to get northwards.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And considering other options are significantly more difficult, I'm guessing?
That they are. This seems to be cutting through all the bad brush and crossing all the ravines and slopes and as if someone's been living here for a long time using them.
So yes, I will point out
they find the easiest trail.
It would seem that, like they say, as we go through a slightly wider track trail type area, I will point out that yes. Yeah. Fortunately for us, it would appear that this, at least this section of the forest, is not so unused as we were led to believe.
Yeah.
And so yes, the smell ahead, I believe, is probably potentially someone's home fires of some sort.
Yep. We can
hope. I wouldn't necessarily trust anyone that we might meet in this forest.
Well, no, we're not going to trust anyone until we're out of here.
And getting
as we get closer to it, if we're getting he will actually point out the fact that yes, one of the constituent factors as to why I wouldn't trust the people that you might find around here is either they're very capable or something else to have dealt with or accepted the presence of these very large wolves in the area.
Well, they are the very large wolves in the area.
Well, that's what Peter did say, or something else.
Well, yes. So yes, I just wanted to bring it to front of mind.
As you come closer to evening, you start to see smoke in the distance.
Right.
Thin trails of smoke going on.
Right, well, we'll keep going forwards.
It sort of dissipates after it rises about 200-300 feet.
Yeah, as it gets up into the real wind. Yeah.
Well,
one smoke or multiple?
One main one. You
Okay.
might. It'd be hard to tell if it's the others. It might just be coming from the same source.
Yes. We'd probably need to see it from without the trees in the way.
Considering
I think there's
the apparent proximity, I would suggest that even though it might be looking at time for bedding down or finding a secure place to camp, it's potentially worth finding the actual source of these fires to find out that exactly who the inhabitants nearby are rather than camping just nearby.
Yes. Now we're sort of this close, it's worthwhile me asking Io to fly up to an altitude to give us an idea of what's around about.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming the magic here allows me to do this.
Okay.
Because I've had him in the other dimensional pocket for the moment, so it's calling him.
Okay, so you reach at your pocket and you can feel the inside of the pocket.
So I don't have a familiar right at the moment. Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping that wasn't going to happen.
You can actually hear him trying to get through to you while you're reaching into the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite distressed at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not bloody surprised, poor little fucker.
So you essentially have a Pokemon?
Yes. Except it's not a rat. I have a distressed raven.
You keep it in extra-dimensional space.
Well, that's what familiar spirits. So you can do that.
I'll just say you later. Bink.
Pokemon.
Yes. Yes.
Raven, I choose you. Out comes a dinosaur. Whoops. Sorry, rumble.
I have a cartoon of what's his face with Pikachu coming up to one particular place, and it's only like a two-page.
Yeah.
And the second page is one panel. Mm-hmm. So he's coming up and going, "Oh, I've heard about these guys. They use water Pokemon. There's a fishing village. They're renowned for it. It's one particular place in Japan." I'm going there, and he's going, "Okay, cool. They're water Pokemon. I'll counter that with fire Pokemon, as you do." And he calls out his little flamey dragon thing.
Charizard?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the second page, which, as I said, is 4-panel, is the other guy calling out Mothra, who is a fire turtle and about 40 feet tall.
That's great. I love that.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Like a Pokemon, I've got a kaiju.
So, as it gets close to sunset, you start to see a glow in front of you, and you see it coming from 5 mounds.
Okay.
With smoke coming out of the center mound.
Out of the mound.
Mm-hmm. And they seem to be the mounds are crude-looking huts with earth basically put over the top of them. And the central hut is where they seem to be pulling charcoal from inside.
So they're charcoal burners. Okay.
Which does make the smell go through the forest.
Yes.
Quite a distance.
Yes. It also means that if we could hear any of it, it means they'd fucked up on one of them.
Or possibly
it's not supposed to burn fast enough to crackle.
That's right. Possibly what you thought was crackling of a fire might have been crackling of something else.
Yes.
And you can hear them...
Traveller's thigh bones, for example.
That they are breaking up the charcoal as they pull it out.
Yeah. Okay, so we might be taking some sounds.
They haven't yet noticed us, is that the point?
Well, there's this banging sound happening as they're pulling out the charcoal.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're standing next to a light source and they're making a whack of noise. Yes, they probably almost definitely haven't heard us.
Happy with that. And it's approaching evening or
just after sunset, you can see. And it's approaching on sunset.
Yeah, and what do they look like?
They are dressed in filthy black stained clothing.
So they're human.
And they look human in rugged clothing.
Right. But everyone knows they're werewolves, right? or there's something like that going on.
All I can think of are they in cut-off jean shorts? And they all have like one tattoo.
And shaven heads.
Yeah.
Werewolves.
Yeah.
They're not that kind of werewolf.
And later on you'll meet the sparkly guys just standing in the light, just smiling at you.
Yeah, they're lifelong enemies, the sparkly dudes, like, yeah.
The sparkly dude?
Yeah.
We just behead him on the spot.
I don't know, stake through the heart.
Yeah, stake through the heart and then behead him, yeah. The stake will hold him down while we're doing it.
And it's sad when he just picks his head up and puts it back on again.
I'm not leaving it. It's cold off and going that way.
He's done his job for the day. You'll then step back into the bushes a little bit to allow Luel to go forward.
Yeah.
Yep. So what you can just see these guys working away, making lots of noise.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep, definitely making lots of noise.
Yeah. So, walk into the campsite, and of course, the cloak is billowing appropriately. It may not be going with the wind, but it's appropriate. And of course, my hair is going with it.
You look very dramatic.
Yes.
Everyone behind you thinks you look very dramatic.
Yes, they do. The people in front of us haven't seen me yet.
Penedier stayed in the trees with his bow ready.
Yeah. But getting a +1 on first impressions is useful.
And as you're standing there, they still haven't noticed.
Okay, I get to like 30 feet short.
Not that hard to do that.
No. Okay, they're really concentrating, and I will call out a hello.
You don't know how. Did we say how big the clearing was? You might only be a 40-foot clearing. You might have just stepped out of the trees.
Quite probably. I'm getting to about 30 feet.
I'd say it takes you maybe 10 steps to get to within 30 feet of them.
Yep.
And calling out, hello.
Greetings, good evening.
Apparently you weren't loud enough because you just keep hearing this constant whacking.
I engage bard voice.
Okay.
And speak from the diaphragm. Greetings. Good evening.
Project.
Yes.
They all drop what they're doing and look at you with that startled deer look.
Oh shit, we've been surprised in the night.
No, you have the feeling that people don't come here.
No, they don't. No. Charcoal burners are usually very lonely people.
Mm-hmm.
I really like one of the tools they use for that, by the way.
And they all have misshapen faces.
Haunted by werewolves.
All misshapen faces.
Mm-hmm. And most of them look as if they've got some sort of deformity on their body.
Sort of thing that people like that would be doing is going out where it's really lonely and no one can look at them.
When you say deformity on their body,
either their arms look twisted, their back looks twisted,
hunchback or something like that.
Their face may be deformed.
Yes. Just as a piece of trivia, do you know what they use for the night shift? The seat for the night shift for charcoal burning? It's a stool with one leg. You doze off, you fall over.
That works.
Means they can sit down, but you've got to be concentrating. Because it's usually 3 people and they've got 24-hour shifts for about 4 days.
Yeah.
So, something you normally want 4 or 5 people for, but they only ever have 3.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, so yes, all 6 are giving you their full attention.
Yes. Good evening, and may I request a welcome. We will not harm or interfere with you, but we would like to, at least at present, partake of the warmth and light of your fire. We can add supplies to yours if you wish as well.
Okay, give me a diplomacy roll.
Yes,
because they can be diplomatized.
Yes, and I wave a bottle of booze while I'm doing it. Natural 20.
Okay.
Oh yes.
One of them hopples forward. He says his name is Jean Michael, and he invites you to share their meager food.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and quite happy to add some of ours if they are willing to do so. Well, seeing we're making a meal for 3 into a meal for 7, 8. I don't know what Drazel's going to be eating.
And
jerky or something.
They offer you to sit down using bits of wood as chairs.
Yep, so there's a log for us. Yep.
Okay.
Join them.
Yes. Thank you for making your time. Won't interrupt your duties on the charcoal burning, I hope.
No, they say it will keep itself going for a little while.
So we will not take up too much of your time.
So, Stefan, can you reach around and give me the book on top, right behind you?
Once there's Monster Manual.
Monster Manual?
Right. The Beastmen, right?
Well, I suspect the deformities are somewhat wolfish.
Possibly, yes.
I'm sure you wouldn't like the...
That's a point. Then
Terrible Beast or Creature Codex?
Werewolves who can't go entirely human.
Or, well, that could also be the fact that they're werewolves that felt that, hey, we don't have to hide it out here because no one will see us.
Yes, so we'll do
Until
this.
You caught them by surprise.
Well, yeah, we'll do this work in half wolf form.
Some claws on the hands makes it easier to pull the pile apart.
I'm sure it would. And so, let's see, give me a perception roll for each of your characters.
Including Benedict looking from the forest line?
24.
Yeah.
15.
22 for Benedict.
Okay, so you guys will notice when the other side starts to change. Because they do seem to turn into beasts around you. So you have to roll high enough to notice. Which, considering how badly they're rolling, is not as high as I would have hoped. Okay, so what was titles?
15.
What was Lani's again?
24.
And what was Praetor's?
22.
And I'll get Llewell's when he gets back.
I think he's got a passive of about 20 or something, hasn't he? Or 19, 20.
I thought his passive was like 18 or something.
Okay, so I will have. So Lani, you notice that they're starting to change while they're sitting near. Hair grows, claws come out of their fingers.
I kind of like hit Tidal and be like, hey. They're a little hairy.
Are they supposed to be hairy?
I don't think so.
Tidal may not have noticed. It might have always been hairy as far as she was concerned.
And it's not like you would have noticed the discussions we had on the way in there that talked about the probability of werewolves.
Yeah.
Yep, I was too busy with my natural 5.
So, knowing that
we
won't get much with him,
tell the
I
others?
also
So
like.
what was Llewell's perception as you're sitting down eating?
20?
Yep.
Yeah.
Another natural 20.
So obviously,
26.
Your dice love you today.
Yes.
Which is a good thing to do. So yes, you do notice that
right up until we start combat.
That they all sort of glance at each other and start to change form, just as Lani points out to Tidal that look, they're changing.
So, in the discussion of potential werewolves, did we discuss weaknesses of werewolves? Does anyone know weaknesses of werewolves? I don't know. Like, I don't know whether it's the sort of thing that Pettidier would be aware of, because while certainly beastmen amongst the clans is not uncommon,
apparently
I'm not certain we have lycanthropes as much, do we?
You do, actually.
You do. It's one of the few times the prohibition against silver is not held against people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
when
we
got
do know that silver is an effective thing against them.
And carrying one silver weapon for that purpose has never been held against most of tribe members.
Yeah.
But if someone else can hold it, that's better.
I'm not certain that my hairpins are going to do that real job very carefully. Or in fact, I have to do it very carefully.
But magic works better than silver anyway, so if you can't afford a magic weapon, then a silvered weapon is generally what they look for. They generally look for alchemical silver on their normal weapons, not as a silver forged.
Yeah.
Yes.
So nothing that's permanently silver in that sort of way.
No.
Yeah.
On the other hand, a silver-headed light mace would actually work rather well. But still, you want to avoid solid metal.
And even Tidal does notice the changes before they fully change. And then Llewell gets to act first.
Whee!
As you see, you're surrounded by 6 werewolves who are sort of each staring at you particularly.
Time to Fwakum, I think.
And they do have red glowing eyes.
Right, which makes them obviously evil, doesn't it?
And they are all, they have grown almost twice their size.
Right, definitely evil.
So that their feet look like the footprints you've been seeing.
I'm not entirely surprised.
Well, from what you know of werewolves, this is not the werewolves you know.
Yes.
That they show no signs of deformity or any sort of illness or anything.
Yes. Yeah. I also get an initiative bonus, but I went first anyway, so.
No, I'm just sad. I'm just sad. They have this little camp all by themselves. They're just doing their own thing. I feel sad.
And then they went, oh, there's visitors. We could talk to them and share a beer, or we could eat them. Let's do the second one.
No, I think they're doing both.
Quite probably.
They're having you for dinner.
Yeah. I know, but...
No reason for and.
Yeah, well, he just said that, yeah.
Bad puppies.
They just fed you first before eating you.
Gotta make sure it tastes good.
That's why it was spicy.
A Happy Meal's a better meal.
Is that McDonald's logo?
I'm going to think of that again next time I'm walking to McDonald's, aren't I?
Yep.
That's what Happy Meals are for.
Yes. No. Ah, dear.
That's funny.
Alright. So let's start it up.
So what would Llewell like to do?
Llewell would like to explode all their heads, but he can't because he doesn't have the right spell. So
What, he could just talk at them until their head goes, bunk.
Work
Could
on
explode their
guards.
brains that way.
I could go for an intimidate. Do you think that would work? We'd have to give a strong expression of power before I actually
You
did
got them
intimidate.
before they fully turned. You could try.
Maybe.
Well, you could blow a head off and go, and if you say that again, I'll do the next one.
Yeah, I could do that too, which makes me think of Guiding Bolt. But no, I'm going to go for Eldritch Blast. I'm going to do 3 of them, 1 for each of 3 of the guys, and it has the full effect of both adding fire and doing knockback.
Wait, can title spray them with water. Bad puppy.
Technically, yes.
Okay, that's called Intimidate to Enrage.
I mean,
Not if you dominate them, though. You gotta use Caesar Milan's technique.
Is that when you smack him on the nose saying, bad puppy?
Yes.
No, that's the thing. Is it water squirt? Bad
That does
puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Get it up his nose and say bad puppy.
probably cost me some health, but technically I could do it.
Do it and be a legend.
It would be amazing. I would write such a story about that one. So would Razzle. That would be different.
Grizzle does have his book out.
He does it. Yeah.
So, first hit on the first one. 22. No, sorry, 21.
21 is a hit.
Cool.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
16 points of damage.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He looks injured. Not particularly badly injured, but he does look injured.
Yep. Okay, same thing on the second one. First up, I'm going to soften them up. Second up, I'm probably going to run away for a bit because they're going to be after me instead of you guys. Because we don't have a tank. Then it's going to be an entire mess, and I've just scared the fuck out of a tree.
What'd you get?
1.
A natural 1?
Yes.
Okay, so which party member would you absolutely like to hit across the clearing?
That's the point. There's knockback with this as well.
There is someone up a tree.
There was somebody up a tree?
Harder.
Oh dear. He's hoping you're on the other side of the tree.
Natural 1 normally hits something.
Yeah, I know. Alright. If it's going to hit someone, I'm going to roll a d6. Think who it does hit. Actually, I should use it.
D4. And if you get a 3 or 4, you manage to somehow make it do something to yourself.
No, I was thinking more of Drassel's included.
Well, there are technically 6 people, so a D6 would work.
Yeah.
Because there's also...
Unless, of course, there's spare table rerolls.
There are in fact spare table rerolls. I will use one.
Okay, so you use one of those.
I will use that to avoid the one, because hurting people is bad.
That just means it's meant to be. You know that.
It's going to... Yeah, well... I'm going to get another one on it somewhere. No, 19 on the dice.
Okay. So you managed to ricochet off someone's shield. So the paladin shield.
Yep.
That's going to... Yeah, he's going to get annoyed. He's also...
He's gonna get annoyed.
It's probably...
He basically went like this and it bounced off his shield.
Yeah, it's probably knocked him on his ass too, but no damage.
Well, that's why he's not paying attention in the fight.
Yes,
You took him out first round.
yes. So 16 points of damage plus 10 foot for the knockback.
Yep. Unfortunately, no knockback on the creature because you knocked the paladin over.
That's fine.
He took the knockback, but he ricocheted the damage.
Spadoo! And third bad guy, 16 on the dice.
That hits.
13 points of damage.
Remember there was he was going to be 16 all the way up here.
Oh well.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
No.
And then Lani gets to go because you've just seen these 4 missiles fly around the area. Well, 4 because one bounced off someone.
Yes, spare one.
You managed to ricochet it.
Yes. I stood up, went, no! Poof! And there was multiple shots all over the environment, and 2 of them fell over.
Well, 3 because the pellet fell over.
Grab my trident up from where I was carrying it.
Yep.
And throw it at the one to the
shot?
left. Yeah, one he shot.
Okay.
First one that I thought he shot. With a 17?
17's a hit.
Alright, that would be thrown. Ooh, that's pretty good. What's in mod? 19 damage.
19 damage. Okay, hits him. He's still looking pretty good there.
Okay. Does it return to me?
It does still return.
I'll do a cool spin and throw it at him again. With a 22.
That's a hit.
With 6, 10, 15 damage.
15 damage.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, it does actually have an effect. If their regeneration is affected by fire, my attacks are fire attacks.
As a player, I'm pretty certain they don't get regeneration, they just get immunity to normal weapons.
Yeah, I can't remember what the 5th edition rules work like.
That's okay. I am taking everything into account.
Yeah. They've got fire, it's fire as well as force.
And you have your trident back again.
Cool. Am I able to take like a defensive stance?
You can take a defensive stance.
She should have called it restabity.
I do that.
Yep, so I believe your trident might give you a couple of bonuses for some attacks.
Okay.
If I look it up properly, I can tell.
Yeah, I'll have to. I think it's
double damage versus unarmored. Now that'd be nice.
defensive.
Trident has hidden itself there. And your character is an expert, aren't you?
Yep.
Okay. Well, if you critically hit, you can leave it in them.
And that would do continuous damage, I presume.
No, it makes it very hard for them to remove it. And basically then makes them harder to move.
Yeah, which makes them easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you're not quite stabbing them to the ground.
That's the.
Oh yeah, at the start of every round it causes damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is continuous.
Okay, so that's the only thing with that.
Yeah. Okay, so then it is Predator gets to go. Luckily, someone didn't shoot you out of the tree.
So how many...
You were saved by the paladin.
How many werewolves are there?
There are 6 werewolves.
6 of them, that's what you said.
And only 3 of them have been hit, and 2 of them are on the ground, and they're still moving quite well.
Yes, they'll be up again very soon.
Well, I will go for a guiding bolt on...
To the face.
Yes. Remember, anyone who hits something that's been hit with guiding bolt gets advantage.
That's right.
I will go with guiding bolt on. So there's 2 that are hit that are on the ground.
Yep. And one's been really beat up on the ground, but still going strong. And 3 unstruck. One's been struck, but not knocked over.
Okay, I will go for the one that's been struck but not knocked over.
Okay.
The idea is that the ones that are knocked over probably potentially get advantage on them already if people hit them. So guiding bolt on the one that's been hit. What do we get? Ranged spell attack. 9. 14.
14's a hit.
What do we get? 4d6. Whoa! 4d6 radiant damage for a total of 22 radiant.
That's a nice hit.
6, 6, 6, 4.
Nice.
Nice.
Some days it rolls well for you.
Yes.
And I will then use my move action and dash action to apparently get down from the tree or get out from the trees and draw my sword to move in to attack. Like basically move into the melee range.
Okay. You've got your sword out. And then Tidal is up.
Well, I've been coerced, so I'm going to
Say bad dog?
Yeah. Use water whip. Up the nose.
Okay. One of the ones on the ground?
Sure.
Hey, he's
well, remember,
do the
ones on the ground.
No, think about this. Think about this.
Isn't it harder to hit the one on the ground though?
No, think about this. The ones on the ground, okay, it might be a little harder, but the ones on the ground, their nostrils are already pointing at you.
Yeah, that's true.
So the noses are going to be easy to hit.
But yeah, the one that got hit by the guiding bolt does also get advantage.
Yes,
so they
so go
need
for that
to
one.
Make a dexterity.
Okay, so
which means they're making a dex check at disadvantage. Because the
7.
So I believe that's a fail.
Which was better than the 19 I rolled.
Yes. So
I'm spending an extra 2 key, which makes it 4 key. I spent it for this because I can't spend more than 4 at level 9.
Level 9?
Not level 9, level 7.
I was wondering how you got 2 levels ahead.
Drazzle.
Yeah, Drazzle.
It's all those curtains he's been doing in his sleep.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, again, this comes down to which title. So
obviously, future title's better than current title. He's got those extra levels.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Maybe we could summon our higher level selves when fights get bad.
That would be convenient.
What happens if the opposition summons the higher level you to fight the current you?
I persuade
Well, then
him
how
to join
does
us.
you become the higher you? Wait, you could assume that you defeat yourself.
You see, you defeat yourself and you break time, or you don't defeat yourself and you know you're going to be defeated by your younger self in the future.
It's only a possible future.
Alright, so it looks like it's...
Otherwise, it's too easy to break the entire universe with that sort of thing.
I think it's only...
5d10?
Yeah. Because it's 3d10 initially, and if I add the extra key, it becomes 5d10. Roll the dice.
5d10 right up the nose.
It would help if you had a d10.
It would help if I had a d10.
Yeah.
5 plus 3, that's 8. Plus 2.
We've got a 10 on 3.
Plus 9, so that's 19.
That's not too bad. So that was the second one that got knocked down, or the first one that got knocked down?
First one?
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. Oh, it was the one that had guiding bolt in it, because that's why.
The one that had guiding bolt was the one that was standing up still.
Yeah.
Okay,
but guiding bolt was the
you
reason
hit
why
him right out the nose,
and
you see his brains explode out of his eyes. You did get him right up through the nose.
Bad dog?
Bad dog.
You cornered him.
That's where you go, bad dog. Dog.
I want to learn how to do that.
There's a telling off and there's a telling off. I meant the first one, not the second one.
Sorry, did you say telling wolf?
Yes.
Telling wolf, no.
I slapped him on the nose with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And he did say up the nose with a water whip. He managed to get right up the nose with the water whip.
That's right.
Yep.
And then the head just exploded out through the eyes.
Yeah.
They're not red anymore.
I mean, it worked, but...
No, I mean the red. Just do red.
I wasn't expecting it.
And you can see water just leaking out the side of its eye sockets like it's crying.
Aww. Sad puppy. Okay.
I'll just see what the other reactions are.
Regenerate that.
They all sort of looking at that person and then looking at you.
Yeah, I'm fucked.
Dodge a lot.
Yes, dodge.
This is time to dodge tank. While we do something about them.
I think can I use key to dodge? No, I've used my max key, so I can't. I cannot use key.
Not this round.
No.
Druzzle looks at one and throws his little quill at one.
I didn't even know he could throw his quill.
He's doing the Penya's Mighty the Sword impressions.
Yeah. Yep.
You see it just go straight into the guy's ear.
And come out the other ear.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
So Chaz basically uses his quill as a dart.
Yeah. Tungsten pen.
And then it appears back in his hand.
Oh, returning weapon.
Samesies.
I do remember that it used to be that one of the fun things you do with a paladin is specialise in dart, because they can do that.
And he starts writing in red in his book.
Of course he does.
That's the brown page.
Okay, so the werewolves go.
Oh dear.
Okay, so the last one that you attacked goes for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, well, it can't reach prey deer at the moment, so he runs at you.
Right.
And he swings his, he tries to bite you first.
Right.
Hitting an armor class 16.
16?
Yeah.
I'm going to check, because that's close enough to be worth checking.
It is close enough to be worth checking.
I think it's actually a miss, though.
You'll just get dice ready, just in case.
No, armor class is 19.
Okay, then he will try to claw you twice.
Okay.
Well, actually claw you once. Okay, so it claws at you, getting an armor class 20.
That's a hit.
Doing 9 slashing damage to you.
Ouch.
As it claws you mightily. Almost maximum damage on you.
That's somewhat painful.
Then the next one rushes Tidal.
That's fair.
Okay.
And trips and falls at your feet.
That's not so fair.
And it has this look up at you with a... What? That's its action. You roll a 1.
It's self-bad dogged!
It does look like the bad dog sort of impression.
Don't hurt me, I'm stupid.
This means coup de grace time.
Next one runs at Lani.
Yep.
Manages to hit a whole armor class 15 with its bite.
My armor class is 15, so does it mean?
It bites you.
Yep.
Why is your armor class?
She doesn't use shields and she likes to maneuver.
No, fair enough.
She comes from a seafaring people who don't put on heavy-weighted death machines.
I'm not wearing heavy-weighted death machines. On the other hand, I have a shield.
As in, heavy armor means you just sink.
Yes.
If you die, you die.
Yeah.
And apparently his teeth catches on your armor anyway, so you only take 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
But you get to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Oh no.
Lucky bite of a luckicle.
Yes, that's a point. Do I have to roll against for the...
No,
because the last one wasn't... The attack I got wasn't a bite, was it? So yeah.
Constitution... 14.
14. Okay, you think you're doing well.
Okay.
And then it tries to claw at you and slams its hand on top of your trident. Sticking the trident through its hand out the other side. It has now skewered itself on your hand.
Okay, so does he take damage?
You rolled a natural 1 on that one.
Ow.
Very nice.
How is it to know that that's the wrong way to attack? It's never seen a trident before. So it deals itself a bunch of damage on that. So that was 7 damage to itself for striking the trident as hard as it could. And then the last one is he's also going to charge at the scary person who blew his friend's brains out.
Isn't he on the floor?
The one, no, all the ones who were on the ground died.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't charge for Luell because he couldn't see Luell.
So who took my coup de grace?
Your coup de grace.
The one that tried to attack him is now lying there going.
Oh no, he's still lying there.
Oh, there we go. He's still got that.
Okay.
And another one charges at Vital because he's obviously so fantastic that this guy almost trips over the guy in front of you and manages to his bite just lands in the ground right next to you. That's how close he came to.
He rolled 2 on the dice.
Okay, double coup de grace.
Armor class 6.
Hey, if he'd rolled a 1, he'd have bitten the guy at your feet.
and then he swings, almost taking the guy on the ground's head off.
That's my coup de grace. That's not fair. You can't
Total of armor
friends.
class of 8. And then it is Liddell's go.
Oh dear. So, how many of them are left?
There are 4 of them still going. Looking a little shaken because 2 of them are down on the ground in front of Tidal, obviously worshipping the ground he walks on.
Apparently.
One of them's sort of glowing with the "please hit me, I'm ready to be hit" beacon.
Oh, he's going to get 1. Actually, to make sure of things, he's going to get 2. And the third one is going to be the other one still standing up. First hit. Oops. 21.
21's a hit.
Cool. 11 points of damage.
And that was with advantage? Did you roll for advantage?
Advantage. Let's go see if there's...
Because it only does it on the first shot.
Yes, that's true. 13 on the hit. Is that still a hit?
So it wasn't a crit?
Wasn't a crit.
Okay, so all I was checking to see is if you got a 20 on the second roll.
Yeah, no.
So yes, it's still a hit, and you did 11 damage, you said?
Yeah, the better roll had 11 damage. The lower roll did more damage.
Okay.
But hey.
Still going?
Yes. So he's still going?
Yep, but you don't get advantage on this one.
No. So, as I said, I'm going to give him 2 hits. So, second hit on him. And that's 20 on the dice.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty high average on the damage. Crits max damage or double it?
Double damage.
Alright.
So
roll
once,
twice?
no, roll once and just double it.
Okay.
It simplifies the math a lot.
32.
32, okay.
Did
So
I just punch a hole through?
And you go, pew! and there's just bits of wood all over the clearing.
Smashed into a tree.
No, he exploded.
He exploded that way. Yeah. 32 points of knockback. Merry Christmas. Flaming knockback. He's just little bits of flame, puffy dust.
And your third shot.
Third shot.
At the guy who's in
the other guy who's still up.
Tried.
Well, he's not dodging really well, is he?
You can't.
No. Dodging better than I thought he was, though. That's probably going to be... What's his armor class, though? It's got to be...
He does.
What did you hit?
Well, 13.
You hit it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Before he was penalised.
Okay.
It's like armoring armor.
Yeah, that's true.
They're natural.
That's true. 12 points of damage.
Okay, he takes a bit of damage from that. You sort of see him get hit in the back of the head as he's trying to turn around and look at you while impaled on this trident.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit.
You can see you can see his hand with the 3 prongs out the other side of his hand.
Yeah, well, 10 foot with a knockback on that. I've pushed him up the prongs. Ew.
Well, he'd probably take damage from being yanked. Okay, he seems to have taken some damage, and Lani has to make a strength check to hang on to her trident.
Okay. Well, I got a 11.
Okay, apparently your trident's now gone that way with him as he's been knocked over.
Sorry.
As you can sort of see the trident sticking out of his hand. And he's trying to do this as the trident's going all over the place.
So the doggy fetched the stick.
And now it's Lani's go.
Badly.
Can I play retrieve the stick from the dog?
Unfortunately, you haven't thrown it. You have to go and
it doesn't come back because of that.
Yes.
Could I grab one of the hand axes that I have and throw it at its face?
You can.
We'll do that.
What sort of hand axe is it?
It's just a regular hand axe.
Face hitting.
So yeah, it's not magical. Because I think that other than the other non-magical.
If you hit, you're going to call it face cruncher.
Yeah. So my idea is that I just want to basically
be horrible.
Get it to stop so that I can stab it in the face with my trident.
Okay. Give me a roll.
So I throw
basic drives.
One hand axe at his face. 14.
It hits him.
Okay.
As you watch it bounce off his face.
I was going to say, it's not going to appear to do any damage.
There we go.
It's just like, it looks like it gets straight at his eye and just bounces off.
Bounces off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Werewolf, mundane weapon. Immune.
I have a second action.
But it's nice to have the proof.
Can I try to
That's right.
grab my trident and pull it out? Is that one whole action, or is that more?
I can say yes, you can do that. Give me a strength check.
Okay.
Or seeing it's already in, just push harder.
24.
Okay. He has got the other end of the trident and stopped you pulling it out.
So
he's closed his fist around it.
Hold on to it. Okay. Whatever.
That's right. Push forward and push him into the ground.
He managed to get a natural 20 on his intention roll.
Of course he did. That's fine.
Well, he's twice your size.
I will wait until next turn.
And then do horrible things.
Give.
So,
Give
Prey Deer's up.
Give me the stick.
Sorry, was that Prey Deer?
Yeah, Prey Deer's up.
Yes.
Oh, I will stab it with my Makura tool.
Which one? The one standing or the two in front of Tidal?
Stabity with a weapon.
Oh no, actually they're all down now.
Are they?
Yeah, because Llewell just knocked back the other one down.
Oh, okay. So
I spongulated
in
one,
front of me.
and the other one was standing up is now lying down because.
I will go for the one that doesn't have the trident in its hand.
There are two of those in front of Tidal.
Yep. And then I'll go for the more damaged looking one, but I'm not really all that concerned. So.
Neither of them have damaged each other, so they're doing well.
That's right.
Just prone.
AC 19.
You do have advantage on the attack roll because they are prone.
Okay. Not a 20, so
okay.
AC 19.
You do hit.
Where am I? Yep. 3, 7, 8, 9 points of damage from a +1, quarter of longswordish.
Yep.
It's a sword.
It does bite in though.
Yes.
Which is good. And that's your action?
And yeah, not much point doing anything else at the present time. So.
And Tidal. Lord of Wolves.
So there are two dead guys in front of me.
I know there are two prone guys in front of you.
Oh, two prone guys. Yeah. Okay.
They're both looking
one
at
of which I just stabbed for you.
I'm going to use my...
Both taking up a lot of space, remember the size.
Hydra...
Flying on top of each other, they're going to be about this tall.
And try and coup de grace first one. And then I'm going to spend a...
You can't coup de grace someone who's not restrained. Or unconscious.
You can attack them with advantage.
But melee versus prone is an easy hit.
Right, okay. So I get advantage to it?
Yes, you get advantage.
Okay, right.
Considering you don't really have to stab down because they're large creatures.
Okay.
Yeah.
And considering the AC is 13 or less, it's probably not that hard with advantage.
Where's my sheet gone? Here it is.
Even with Peridot Air using his longsword.
Yeah.
Which is not his ideal weapon.
Okay, good thing I've got advantage. It's a bit better. That's...
Yeah. Can you imagine one of those made with dragon fangs?
13.
13's a hit.
Oh, it's a hit. Okay.
Yeah, they're...
Well, particularly when they're lying down. But yeah, their armor class is low.
That's 8 damage.
8 damage?
Yeah. Counts as magical.
Yep. Slices into him.
And then I'll use my point of key for flurry of blows for 2 additional attacks. Thank God for advantage. Okay.
Yes.
Another 13.
That's a hit.
So that does 4 damage, I believe.
Cuts into him.
Because melee is not that good. And then the next one is 14 damage. 14
that hits.
Hit, and then damage is 2.
2 damage?
Yeah. But they count as magical as well.
They do. So it gets hit a couple of times. You can hear Drazzle whistling happy to himself.
Okay.
Thanks, Drazzle.
I don't know what he's doing. He's obviously having fun.
He has to document this.
Yes.
He had his fun, and now he's documenting.
Yeah, and it's been... and what's the thing?
Yeah.
It's been a spectacular fight. It's going to look good as a scene in one of his novels.
It will.
Wherever he puts it.
And so one of the ones at Title's feet tries to bite him before getting up. And it's a whole armor class 13.
That's a miss.
And then it tries to claw you. And squish you into the ground with Mighty Claw. You got a 20.
A 20? Yeah, that's a hit.
Got your
Well, natural 20.
No, so 24 actually. On its hit.
cheesecake.
And it does 16 points of slashing damage as it claws you.
Okay.
So fortunately, it was a claw, no bite.
Hmm.
So it becomes... Yep.
So amusingly didn't light up that much in the light of the thing. So then the other one tries to attack Jeremy, who's got his magic sword there, and tries to bite Jeremy. But it gets an armor class of 11.
That will miss.
Apparently you're just too good for him. And then tries to claw you. And hitting an armor class 19.
19 will hit.
Apparently the claws work a lot better than their bites. But they're not that great at doing it, so it does a whole 5 slashing damage on you.
Okay.
On the other hand, does
Yeah,
he
Shit.
well, he's already got to make one anyway.
Yeah, I had to make one
Punches should have done an additional 6 damage.
on bites.
You should have done an additional 6.
Yes, I can do stuff about them though.
Because I forgot to add in
Add
the
it
other
on?
from abilities.
Okay, and then the one with you is trying to throw you with the trident.
Okay.
So he swings you around on the trident. Give me a strength check.
Okay. I had a modified 20.
Modified 20. Okay, there's this sucking ripping sound as you go flying into the trees with your trident.
Oh my gosh. Oh, but with my trident.
Yes. That's
Okay.
sucking noise
Taking
you got out of
4 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit a tree.
That's fine.
And he sort of is kneeling over holding his mangled hand.
Does he howl?
Yeah. Seems to be missing a couple of fingers as well.
So I hope he doesn't howl, because that might attract more of them.
Well, I mean, if
You know what?
we assume there's others.
I think all of them are here.
Might
There's
be,
only
might be
5
standing
huts.
walk around the contain.
Well, until one of them howls for allies.
Hmm.
And then it's a party. It's a werewolf party.
Yes. And this is just wolves.
Ain't
We're
no
calling
party
it
like a
finger bits
werewolf
of
party.
werewolf.
Werewolf party don't stop.
Well, they keep turning people into werewolves, so the party gets bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a fun time. Hey, it's kind of like coronavirus.
Kind.
We spread it by social contact.
Yeah.
Being chewed on by a semi-wolf. Yes. Fortunately for those people who are bitten, I can do something about that, so we'll leave that to after.
Yes, you can be, decapitate and no problem at all.
There is more than one thing I can do, and I don't have a decapitation. Well, I actually do have a decapitation device.
Brady has a stake.
I've got a walking great sword.
So what is the well doing?
There are 3 remaining.
There are 3 remaining.
All right.
Two are wailing at people from the ground, and one of them's curled up, clutching the mangled remains of his hand.
Well, I'll help him with the hand problem by taking his head off.
I was gonna say, but exploding his head.
Yeah.
Have something else to worry about.
Explode.
Explode.
Hit 1 on him. That's actually going to hit because that's 13.
That is a hit.
On the other hand, minimum damage, so 8.
8 damage is not bad.
It doesn't suck.
And it's knocked over.
And it's knocked over. Still alive though, right? Yeah. He's getting a second one. And that's 17.
That's
and
it.
That's 14 points of damage.
It's still going with that.
No, we can have a third one then. 19 on the dice. Unfortunately, I don't have a feat that gives me the extra bits. However,
I don't think you need a critical to kill this one.
No, that's 17 points of damage.
17 points of damage.
Plus knockback again.
And he knocks back all over the place.
So I've just knocked him on both sides of a tree.
Mm-hmm. And he's sort of dripping down the tree. Then it is Lana's turn. The person who you got your trident from is now gone.
Yes. Crump, 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 and he's smashed
and
into a tree.
around you.
Yeah, he's in a tree.
And partly on you.
I'll find...
Yeah, he's 20 feet away.
The next...
You can see Tidal and Llewell both using their magic swords on creatures on the ground in front of them.
Yep. I go ahead and throw my trident at one.
That can't go too wrong.
Yep. 23.
That's a hit.
Wasn't a 1.
And...
Yep. That's the important bit. I like my head where it is.
16 damage.
No, she'd have got you in both feet.
Damage.
And then, as the trident comes back, is he still
going?
Still going. Okay, that was close. 20 modified.
That's a hit.
And that would be 17 damage. Yep. That was so close to being a 7.
You probably still would have hit.
Maybe, I don't know.
Have you got +6 or better?
And he sort of falls, stops moving and is just twitching. You know, with all the electricity running through it. Twitch, twitch, twitch.
Yeah.
How are you only at +5?
I don't know. Just how I figured it, I guess. I don't know.
And then it is Praetor's go with the one remaining wolf.
What's your strength?
I will stab it then.
14.
Oh, 14. Okay, sorry. I was thinking,
what's your proficiency modifier?
Should be +3.
Should
be 3.
So 17 on the total.
Yeah,
that's a hit.
Yeah. 4.
Oh, the trident's magical, isn't it? Does it give you a +2 bonus, or it does special damage?
It just has lightning.
10.
Yeah.
11 points of magical slashing damage.
Okay, so he's finally been hit.
At long last.
Yeah.
Didn't even try and get up, wuss.
And then it is. Does he have any extra attacks, Jeremy?
No, that's all right. But I will taunt him to come on. Let's finish this. Come with me.
And Tidal.
Okay.
You got a bad puppy.
So the one of the guys on the floor is dead. So there's one.
There's one between us at the moment.
So there's only one left between us who's standing up. Is that correct?
I think that one's still lying down.
He's on the ground. Okay.
Yeah, because you get another one on top of him.
Right. If he's the only one left, then I'll go for him. So I'm assuming I have to move towards him. And
No,
he's right. He's within range.
He's between you and me. You and
okay.
you and yourself.
You don't really have
attempt
flanking.
to stab him with my sword. And I'll also spend a key point for another flurry of blows. That's
fun.
sad. 23.
That's a hit.
It is, but it wasn't a 20 net, sadly. So,
it wasn't a good one.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, that's terrible. That is 4 damage.
He gets hit by your magic blade, and you see the wound there.
Yep, and then I magic fist him.
You use the fist?
Yes. So that's...
The mighty fist.
It's 11?
It's a great
11. That is a hit.
Oh, that's a hit. Okay. That does 6 damage.
6 damage. You hit him quite soundly.
And then I'll... It's a 23 again.
It's also a hit.
Sadly not a natural 20.
It'll be funny if... No, it's a miss now. What?
Yeah. That's 4 damage.
Yeah.
4 damage?
Yep.
Okay,
And
so
they also
you
count as magic.
beat.
I'll mark off my key.
Do your hands count as magic weapons?
They do. Monk
Okay,
strikes
so they
after a
should.
certain level. I think level 6 counts as magic.
Something like that, yeah.
Cool.
Yes, 6th level.
So you are actually beating the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you hear a crunching sound coming from Drell's direction.
No.
I'll look at Drowsel.
He seems to be chewing on a piece of werewolf.
What a floaty boat.
Which really looks really weird in his illusion of being a human.
Oh, right. Okay.
It looks like he's just doing this into his face.
Yep.
And it's still got a trouser leg on it.
Yeah.
So basically bits of the leg are disappearing in front of him.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the leg stops here and it's just
disappearing.
But
which is actually less disturbing than actually watching it.
But you are seeing bits of it fly off in different directions.
Yeah. Yes.
It's almost like it's going through an invisible wood chipper.
Exactly.
Yep, very much so.
I'll just have to wipe his mouth after he's finished eating.
So it looks weird more than disturbing.
Well, he does like to hug people after he's eaten.
Yeah. I'll get in the back of the line, thank you.
If you're the only person in the line?
No, well, this is true.
Yes.
Okay, so...
I'll give you a hug first.
Then the werewolf tries to go for the person goading it and stands up in front of Prey Deer.
Yep.
And tries to bite him. I said try. He gets an armor class of 12.
That'll miss.
And then he swings his claw at you with a lot of foaming at the mouth. And apparently he's distracted by that foaming. As
the tree has been helpful to your defense. Well, actually, strictly, you are actually using cover.
No, I'm fighting in melee.
He's moved into
okay,
melee.
No, that's right, you actually... You got down and did slashies.
Then Llewell is up.
Oh.
As you can see, there are now 2 around the remaining one who's now standing.
So that one has got 2 people on it.
Yeah.
So, Benedier and Tidal are both attacking in melee the one that's there.
Okay, I could either leave them to it, they appear to be doing fine, or I could give them a hand by guiding bolting it and exploding its head all over them. I think I'll go with the former.
Okay.
I'll hold an action in case something goes screwy.
Okie dokie. So, are you delaying?
Yes. Delaying, sorry, rather than holding.
That's why I mentioned that one. Nani.
Yeah, I'm throwing it straight in its face.
Good to hear.
10.
10? Okay, it misses.
Whoa! Not very common for me. Does it come back?
That's the thing, a stab isn't going to cause its head to explode. Me hitting it will.
Yeah. So I get a little bit mad about that, and I throw it again. With... What is that? Oh, 19.
19, you hit.
That was terrible. 11 damage. That's it.
And your spear comes trying to back to you.
Yep.
Okay, then Prey Deer is up.
I'm kind of imagining you wanted to get to dodge the way you wanted, and it's like, oh, I missed it! There you are.
Yes, your trident is being a good puppy.
AC 13.
That's a
Is that the
hit.
name of the trident?
Good
puppy?
It's Good Boy Sparky.
Good boy Sparky.
Yes. 6, 7, 8 damage.
8 damage, okay. So yes, you do keep it quite soundly.
It'll gain a personality.
Have you ever played Dead of Winter?
And any other actions?
Oh, okay.
Not
One of the
this
characters you can play in that is
And then Tidal is now up.
a dog called Sparky.
Love it.
Okay.
That's so cool.
I would like to beat this guy up.
Okay.
So I will
You'll
hit him.
Headbutt him in the face.
Well, sword hit him first, then headbutt him.
Oh, fair enough. Sortificate.
This is the guy lying down, correct?
No, he's not lying down at the moment.
He's standing up.
Oh, he's standing up.
But you still are flanking.
I'm
So
still
you have
flanking.
advantage.
Okay. That's a natural 20. Okay. So that's 5 plus 2 is 7, so 14.
14 damage on that.
14 damage.
Okay.
Magical short sword.
So everyone sort of feels all the air suck in the clearing. You see the charcoal burn just go straight out. As the sword lights up into this day, like you're looking at the sun.
Oh shit, yeah, the sword has a magical thing on crits. I think it cancels healing or something?
And then as he strikes the poppy just turns to ash.
Or that.
So serious radiant damage.
It's not a radiant weapon, isn't it? Think so.
And basically you see and the entire area gets hit by a blast of thunder.
It's an
Sonic.
weapon.
I like it.
It's called the Hydra sword or something.
I like it.
Wow. Okay. I'll just kind of stand amazed, going, "Oh."
As you look around, you can sort of see trees just start to fall around you, away from you.
I just kind of look at it strange, going, "I didn't know it did that."
You know,
holding it off, going.
Title, you just need to draw attention to our presence.
You sort of made the clearing that was probably about maybe 50 feet across. Now is about 200 feet across.
Holy smeg!
Everyone's hair sort of pushed back.
Yeah. We have firewood now?
As you seem to have, you've uprooted all the trees in the vicinity.
Yeah. We have enough for a log cabin.
We don't need a log cabin.
Do now.
We've got one now. Yes.
I'm just gonna carefully sheath it.
Puts the sword away. The sword goes. I needed that.
Don't do that again.
It's the first time he's correct with the weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
I like it. Keep hitting things until it comes up again.
He doesn't know what he wants to now.
Of course, this means you're not allowed to use that in the city.
Yes, that's a good point. Yes, because I can't say, "I choose not to crit." Like, no, that's not how it works.
No.
Well,
you can take a table reroll to not 20.
Yes.
No, except that the table reroll gives you the higher of the two rolls.
That's true.
That's right. Tis too.
Unlike luck, which means you roll again.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
And you take the next roll.
Yeah. So I can
That's why luck is not as good as advantage.
Yes.
So now I know I can only punch things in the city. I can't.
Well, you can staff them.
I suppose so.
Well, hey, if someone challenges you and you pull this sword out, you know it's meaning business.
Mm.
You're told it was an important sword.
Yeah, but I didn't really know until now.
Make friends with that sucker.
We didn't do this in the other home place.
Keep in mind, like
where we came from.
Like I have a lightning trident that like would just shock people, but here it like disintegrates them sometimes. So like.
You think you did both at the same time?
Yeah.
Lightning disintegrate. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you think it was more of lightning thunder.
Yeah.
That's a point. It may be just wacky things happening here.
Yeah, maybe. It could be that, or your sword could just be that great. We don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, it may be more we don't actually stop here anymore.
Well.
But yeah, I'll not use it in town.
Yeah. You hear Drezel shut his book and Drezel happy with dinner and show. And puts his book away.
He had his popcorn, the guy's fingers that fell off from when he
Well, he's having finger food, yes.
Yeah.
Were these werewolves wearing any rags?
Yes.
Okay. Can I pull off one of the rags?
Yep.
Just throw it at Drowse and say, "Wipe your mouth after eating."
So you see him wiping, not even touching his face with the rag.
Yeah, we know what he's actually wiping.
It's just very disturbing because you can see all this gunk getting on there from nowhere.
Yeah.
And then he flicks it off to the side.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. It would be disturbing if he was doing that. He wasn't getting gunked up. Because you've been faking. Yeah. Well, we've got a fire still.
Do we?
Well, no, you look at it.
We'll have to put it. We'll have to start it back up again.
Everyone's also a little lightheaded as well because they had all the air sucked out of them at the same time.
Yeah.
I would not recommend camping here for the night.
Well, no, but
you don't need oxygen. It's fine.
What?
Oxygen's overrated, I'm sure.
Freedom's for losers.
Oxygen's carcinogenic. Avoid it.
What he did with it?
It slowly poisons everybody.
Okay, so where are we heading?
You're totally addicted to it from birth. You try to stop breathing.
Is it nighttime currently?
Yes.
It was evening. We were about to camp, but now it's not safe here.
That's kind of creepy.
Well, I mean,
no,
is it?
We can search their pockets for anything useful, which they probably won't have.
Is it currently a full moon?
We can nick a bunch of their charcoal.
Actually, yeah, that's a good question. So
you look up. No, it's not a full moon.
Okay, good.
No, okay. I'm going to nick a basket, because they'll have baskets or something to hold the charcoal in. We'll nick one of them for fires, because we're going to need it for the next week.
Mm-hmm.
Having charcoal to start fires with or make fires with is going to be very useful.
And you notice that amongst the firewood that they're burning, parts of bodies that have been slowly cooked on the charcoal.
Yeah, well, it's easy enough to pick the actual charcoal out.
It is. I'm not saying it's hard.
It's just they've been cooking people.
So give me a perception roll while you're doing that.
Passive perception is 21, which is generally better than my actual perception.
Okay. So do you get pelts from werewolves, or is it just this weird amalgamation of thing?
What was that? If you
can get pelts from werewolves,
you can if they don't return to normal form, but none of the bodies here look like they're worthy of skinning, considering the amount of damage you did to them. Except for the one you blew the brains out of. His pelt's the only one untouched.
So you need to blow their brains out in order to skin them?
Well, we've been blasting them or carving them up.
Yes,
or punching holes in them with lightning.
Damaging the hides,
damaging the pelts.
Yeah. Whereas we don't know if they're going to turn back yet.
Yeah, actually their backs are all going to be fine. Most of them, when they in the front.
Most of them die when they die, turn back to their normal form.
Yeah,
none of these turn back to the normal form.
Or their normal form is wolf.
Or else that is their normal form. Yes.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's true.
I'm going to ask Drazzle if he has any stories about werewolf.
He says yes, and he starts retelling the story of you entering this clearing.
Okay, a different one, please.
Well, I meant the werewolf. I specify werewolf. No, I forgot the name. I forgot the name for it. Pelt.
If there's at least one with still a good pelt,
yes,
Predator will go for skinning it.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
There is one of a good pelt, and Predator is skinning it.
Yeah, and a couple of the other ones still. Their fronts are bad. And their heads are bad, but their backs are fine.
Title was more curious. He didn't actually want to do it himself.
He's not interested in waiting that long to hang around.
Well, no.
He's actually going to get the good wolf pelt.
Yep, and we'll leave it at that.
That's fine.
26.
I was just curious.
He skins it quite deftly.
Yep.
And Llewell finds a pouch and a hand with a ring on it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, searching them.
Because there's
what's left of them.
Well, no,
that
wasn't them. It's actually the people that were cooking or burning in the charcoal ovens. So this is victims.
Wait, how many people ended up in the charcoal furnace?
I don't know. We haven't opened them all up yet. There's 5 of them.
Well, there were 5 hearts and 4 hearts and 1 furnace.
Well, I suspect all the burners have been opened up now.
Can we check the furnace?
That's true. They've all been blasted open.
Oh,
which means they're actually now bonfires.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah. Boop. So pouch, you said?
Yep, a pouch.
Okay, what's in the pouch?
It has actually has some gold in there. Some old coins.
Yeah. Old French coins?
Yep.
Okay.
Prancing coins.
The paper money all burnt up.
Probably.
Yeah.
And the hand has some sort of sapphire ring on it. Though it looks a little too bloated to pull the ring off.
Sorry. Just get Drazzle to eat the finger off.
Well, if it's bloated, it's probably off. Or overcooked.
Drazzle will eat it.
That's probably true. I think it's probably
Yeah,
less
Drazzle
grisly
knows
for me to
that.
cut it off.
You cut the finger off quite easily.
Yeah. Take the ring, clean the ring.
Peel the ring off the finger.
Yep. Is the ring magical at all?
Neither of them are none of those things are magical.
Okay, cool.
But it is this nice silver ring.
Yes.
Interesting choice for living among werewolves.
Well, most people don't choose to live amongst werewolves.
Well, a silver ring is why they didn't eat the hand.
They're
not going to want to eat anything that's had silver in contact with it.
Yeah, that's true.
And the amusing thing was, they were supposed to invite you into dinner and then attack you in the middle of dinner.
Well, that's just rude.
But you guys just rolled so well in your perceptions, they didn't get a surprise round on you.
Yeah.
It was like, don't worry, we'll surprise them. They're ready? What?
We're adventurers. No. And we're not stupid.
But you also rolled well in your perception.
Well, that's true.
And we also had warning before we came in, having noticed the twigs and things like that.
Yes, well, that's the thing.
Exactly.
The perceptions on the way in made a big difference.
Of course, you could have done complete failure to notice anything, walk in, sit down and go, where did that come from? That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what you're meant to do, but we've got good perception. Which is a point, by the way, for initiative.
Mm-hmm.
that's only active perception. Is you don't use it passive perception for that.
Yeah. Sometimes I give people perception to see if they notice things before they happen, so they're not surprised.
Yeah.
And then I will sometimes use that roll for their.
Right. So so my passive perception is going to be very useful for that.
Because it is quite useful to have someone go, "Oh, look, I see what's happening."
Yes. Yes. Well, the obviously superior elf is the best person to do that sort of thing with.
And you decide to head a little further north, away from the large clearing in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
While there's planes flying overhead.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that we probably don't get necessarily too far, considering the fact we've already been walking since 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you'll all be suffering from exhaustion at that point.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like you guys had a short rest at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
But Penadier's been going non-stop for
it's
18 plus hours.
Oh yeah, it's definitely time to get a rest in.
Yeah, so I think we need to make him.
I would love to see the report written by any pilot that saw your flash.
Right.
Well, looks like a secret weapons test.
Yeah, it was. It was a very secret weapon.
And so we'll end up finishing up there as you guys go off to have a night's rest.
Yep.
Cool.
And hopefully we'll find the other people next session.
Perfect.
I'm always tempted to do the whole get some linen cloth and wrap the hilt and the top and, just tell enemies, the last time I undid this, an entire explosion happened.
Yes, but that involves them believing you. You have to be believable.
Yes, well.
It's persuasion, deception.
If these don't, persuade them first.
Well, imagine what your next novel's going to be about.
I warn them about you.
I just want to say thank you, dice, for rolling in my favor.
Yes.
It's always funny when they work well some days and then you're going, why don't they do this all the time? It's like...
Because dice.
Because dice.
Dice are random. So thank you, Jeremy. I shall see you tomorrow night.
Thank you very much, yes. I mean, just realised I should have been rolling D6s instead of D4s for the force damage.
That would help.
Because there's no reason not to use it two-handed, really, when he has to use it.
That is true.
Anyway, thanks very much. Have a good night all. See you next week, week after, tomorrow night, whatever.
See ya.
Thanks
See you
a lot.
later. Bye.